N15 podcast. I'm your host, Crimson Sin.
I'm
my co-host,
N15 PCA.
And Native 454.
On two podcasts ago, we covered our thoughts and feelings on Spider-Man, but Native just saw it today, so he's going to just go over how he felt and what he liked and disliked about it.
Yeah, it was a great movie. I had a lot of fun watching it. I laughed so much in the theater. My wife laughed a lot. We both saw it together. We both loved it. It was a movie for everyone.
Yeah, that's the thing I liked about it, is that everyone could enjoy the film. I know there's some really hardcore comic book guys that just they really trash the film, and I'm like, guys, it almost felt like, my goodness, nothing was going to make you happy.
Yeah, no, you can't please those guys.
The villain was great.
Yeah, the villain had heart. He understood where he was coming from,
but it's all good villains. I know why you're doing what you're doing, but man, you're doing it the wrong way.
Yes, it was just. It was so sad. It was a shocker too, in the movie, and then seeing.
And then we're going to do spoilers.
Yeah.
Do
you want to do spoilers? I don't know.
We did in ours.
Okay, well, I'll say spoilers.
Okay.
Finding out that the girl that he liked, that was her father, and I was just shocked. And me and my wife looked at each other like, oh snap! It's gonna be awkward and weird, and then they had that. Then of course his friend being super nerdy and it was great. I just loved it. It was great. And also, I'm assuming that's MJ, the new girl.
Yeah, because she called her. She's like Michelle, but my friends call me MJ. Like, oh, it's not really her. But why even say it then?
You wouldn't be that cute about it. You would not be
knowing how Marvel fans are. You can't throw out a name like MJ and it not be Mary Jane.
Yes, and also I liked the whole Tony Stark, Peter Parker thing. With the whole, it's not like he's being his father, but he's seeing the reason why his father had so much headaches about him, because he would do the same things. I don't want to do this. I'm old enough to do this, and he's like, gosh, I'm being like my dad now, where. You don't take things...
And there was the scene's actually in one of the trailers or whatever, but you get the full context when you actually watch the film, where he's like, well, if it was so important, you'd actually be here, and he actually was. And it's like, oh, damn!
Yes, I was like...
Peter, you done messed up!
Yeah, he's like, whoa. He's like, oh, dang.
It felt real. These are mistakes. I know people complain, he makes so many mistakes, he's so pathetic. Well, guys, he's a high school kid who's never been Spider-Man before, so he's still learning to be Spider-Man.
Yeah.
So he's not going to know how to do everything, and he's going to get scared, and he's going to mess up, and he's going to trip, and he's going to fall.
I like that.
I loved it. I thought that was great for the character, but some people were just hating on that.
I loved the fact that at that end part where he got trampled by that building, he was actually crying, because he's almost like...
a boy.
Yeah, because he's freaking out. He's hyperventilating. He's like, oh my gosh, I'm
going to die here.
Yeah.
Yeah, the character you have to understand is when you read the first comics of Spider-Man, he was a kid. He was in high school. He had these problems, so this would fit that mold. It's what we've always wanted, and now you're going to trash it.
Don't we love it when our heroes struggle and grow and become better? But now they just wanted Spider-Man to be insta-hero, and it's like, guys, you guys weren't going to be happy no matter what happened.
And I love that the Spider-Man character is he's so immersed into New York City. He cared about that sandwich shop owner, and that's what a real kid from New York would be like.
Especially if it's a place he went to after school every day.
Yeah, exactly.
So it had that kind of your neighborhood's your family.
Exactly, and then there was that connection. Even with that thug, he was like, "Oh, who has the best sandwiches?" And and he's like, "Oh yeah, of course, this guy."
So, was there anything you really didn't like that you saw and you were just like, "Oh, I hate that"?
I would say the only thing I didn't like was the whole maybe just getting a little bit political.
Yeah, that's what we said too.
Yeah,
it's like okay, we get it, MJ. Oh, Bill by slaves. Okay, we get it.
Yeah, we get it. It's one of those things where just admire the work if that's what you think of it.
Architecturally wise.
They did a real good job. And I know that there's some probably back history that that probably is true, but it's something that it's I don't know. It's something I don't want it in the movie, but
and it's just it was a groaner.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's just one of the things they added. But there wasn't a lot of that.
Yeah, no.
That was at a minimum.
Just I think it was one or two comments that she made. Her just okay, here's your little brownie for being a good liberal.
The one thing I like too is that how they kept replacing the shocker. He was like, "Oh, yeah, you're the shocker."
Yeah, he got vaporized. Him. He's like, "Oh, damn! I didn't think I'd kill him."
Yeah, that part was funny too. I thought this was the freeze gun or whatever, the gravity gun. He's like, "No, that was the laser."
So I thought overall, it's a solid film.
Oh, very good.
I think we already mentioned this last podcast when we talked about the podcast where we had the spoilers about the Spider-Man Homecoming. I want your thoughts on it, Josh. How do you like the fact that Spider-Man's popular and not an outcast since he's with Tony Stark and all that?
See, no, because the original everyone kind of hated Spider-Man.
Yeah.
That's another thing I didn't dislike. I'm like, oh, he's like a hero already. Everyone loves him.
But what are you going to do if you're with Tony Stark? That's what I said. What's your thoughts on it?
I was kind of, now that you say it, I think it's kind of a mixed bag they took, because they took that, okay, we'll make him popular, but he still has all his problems, like in the comic book.
Yeah.
Or he doesn't get the girl. He's always the outcast, no matter what he does, and he tries to be a teenager, but he can't because there's always something happening. And I like that they kept that part, but like you said, it is kind of maybe disappointing that he's not the villain. He's not.
Yeah.
Because I thought for sure when that bank thing happened, I thought that guy was gonna be like, "Oh, Spider-Man's robbing this bank."
Yeah, he's helping them.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I thought that guy was going to say, but he's like, oh no, he's trying to stop the Avengers, which was funny still, but like you said, it's not.
And then another thing we brought up, because we didn't even think about it because you're so excited because the film was so fun, but no Osborn.
Yes, no, yeah,
Yeah.
no.
He has no
Osborn.
friend, no Harry Osborn.
Yeah.
So, but he's a sophomore.
Yes.
So there's still more years in high school. Maybe the new kid comes to class and it's Harry Osborn.
Yes.
And he kind of becomes Peter's new friend. You can do it that way because you can't really have but no Oscorp, no nothing.
Yes, I know. It was
That's
weird.
just
That
weird.
was
That's
weird.
weird.
Yeah, that's again. But besides those two little points, that's literally my only real things that I didn't like.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be the but it didn't hurt the film to the
No.
point where it make it watchable though.
No. Also, they had Shocker, which was kind of a funny villain, and they had Vulture. I think they were really done characters. I like the whole chop strop, where they're not big enough for the Avengers to come
Yeah,
down.
they even noticed. It goes, you get Iron Man on our tails, we're done.
Yeah.
He's like, we can't fight that guy. We can fight some of these smaller kind of heroes, but you get the Avengers on us, we're gonna just give up. We're not gonna even put up a fight.
Exactly.
These guys can kill
Yeah,
us.
we're not talking like, oh, we're gonna have Punisher on our tail or something like that, where it's like he's a
You
man.
can escape.
Yeah.
You're not running away from Thor and Iron Man. And those guys are gonna get you.
Yeah, and also, of course, the whole Captain America
Stuff is always
yeah,
funny.
it was funny. I like that. But but anyways, good film. You guys definitely check it out.
Yeah, there's no reason
Gotta
not
see
to.
it in the theaters. It's awesome.
There you go, third opinion. So now
Yeah, there you
we
go.
got our
And
opinions out.
then pretty much all agreed on the same stuff because
Exactly.
it's universally good. I don't know anyone that there's just common things. And the thing I love the most about it, and I'm pretty sure you're going to agree with me on this one, it showed you where it's like, I want to be Peter Parker and be popular. You know what? I have to be Spider-Man.
Yes.
And he makes those decisions to be Spider-Man because he knows it's the right thing to do.
Exactly.
And that is a common core character trait for Spider-Man where I give up Peter Parker being happy because I know Spider-Man has to do the right thing.
Yes, and even like that in the movie they did that because he was talking to his computer AI, and the computer AI was just like, "Why don't you just tell her?" And then everything could be good, okay. But it's like that's Peter Parker's super in turmoil that he has. Is that like I can't tell people who I am because that's going to endanger them. I'm supposed to be detached from that.
Yeah.
And it's like sucks, and I love that.
And the same thing at the party. Oh, I could drop
there you
in
go.
and say, "Hey, Peter Parker knows me. I'm the coolest guy ever."
and then shoot webs.
But it's like, no, I saw an explosion over there. I need to go help whoever's over
yes, I like that. And
And maybe we run across the park since there's nothing to
there. Yeah, like
freaking
at the end
we
of
talked
the
about
swing
that
on,
too.
so he has to just run.
And
That's funny.
and just a side thing about the Spider-Man old movies, the new, not the older ones, but the newer ones. I have to admit, I don't know if
And
you're a
made the
fan.
Amazing Spider-Man.
Yeah, if you're fans of those, it's okay. But it was so funny because we're driving home with my wife, and she's like, "You know what? The Amazing Spider-Man main actor sucked."
Garfield.
Yeah, and then
Andrew
I'm
Garfield.
like, and then I asked her, I'm like, well, why? Like, and she's like, he just didn't seem like Spider-Man. And I'm like, and that's coming from a person that's not a big
Yeah, she's
Marvel
not a comic book person.
yeah, and she's just a person that watches, movies, and she's like, yeah, he didn't have that nerdiness. I felt for this guy because he was a nerd. He was and I'm like, yeah, because the other guy is like, Spider-Man never skateboards. Like, that doesn't make...
Yeah, he was too cool to be Peter Parker.
Yes.
Perfectly fine for Spider-Man because he can tell the jokes and be
Yes.
a jerk. But Peter Parker, he was too cool.
Yes. he
Too
was
handsome,
very-
too cool, too great. You needed someone who's a little goofy.
I think he's a good actor personally, but
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
the wrong
Yes.
part. The wrong
Yeah,
part
wrong
for him.
part.
Totally,
Yeah.
totally wrong part for
Exactly.
him.
You want to see him in a good movie, Hacksaw Ridge. You see Andrew Garfield in that movie does a super great job in that.
Very
So I'm not hating on him as
Yeah,
an actor.
no, no.
Just I don't think it was a good role for him.
Yeah.
I agree with that as well.
So you give it the official seal. Go see it.
Yes,
Yeah.
I give the native official
Yeah.
seal. Go see it.
the
If whatever that's worth.
So over the weekend, a lot of stuff happened. The Evo tournament happened. Comic-Con's going on right now. The D23 Disney Expo wrapped up. But a lot of stuff coming out, and we're going to start with video game stuff. They announced the Sega Genesis Flashback console. It has 85 games, has a pause, rewind, and save feature built into it, just kind of like when you do a ROM when you run an
Yeah,
emulator.
very nice.
And it can use wired controllers. So if you have an old Sega Genesis controller, you can just plug it right in. And it has cartridge support. And it's $80. So you're paying less than $1 a game.
Exactly. And
There's some games missing. There's the Streets of Rage games are missing. Some of the other this guy
Was Golden Axe in there?
Yeah, Golden Axe,
all three in there. But there's all the Fantasy Stars are in there.
Yes.
All the Sonic the Hedgehogs are in there.
All the Shining
You got Victor,
Forces.
all Shining Force. So there's a ton of content. here.
Just alone on the Shining Force games, that's going to be, what, 40 hours each game?
Yeah, you want to play some great strategy RPGs, like old school strategy RPGs. The Shining Force games are probably the pinnacle of that.
Oh, yes, exactly, yeah. So if you're a Fire Emblem fan, you can play Shining Force all day.
And then you look at something that the Super Nintendo Mini Console has 21 games and it's
yeah.
$80.
Yeah.
And you have no way to ever play any new games on it. It doesn't do cartridge support. If this thing is built well and it's not like cheaply made and it breaks and it doesn't work right, I don't know. I'm sorry. If you're a Sega fan, you're winning out on this deal. You really truly are.
Big time.
Oh,
And guess what? These are going to be everywhere. They're going to make a bazillion of these.
And literally, they said only maybe 7 Genesis games won't play on it. You're not going to have.
Yeah,
those 7
like
games.
if you have a cartridge like that, there's a list somewhere. I'll try to dig it
Yeah,
out.
but it's like, who's going to have those 7 games?
Yeah,
you can
those
play?
weird games, probably those 10
10
type
game games. Yeah, so there's nothing important.
And I guess the same company who's doing this is also making an Atari flashback. These have been in the stores before, but makes this one different. It has HDMI support, which I don't think makes any sense for Atari games, but it has, all the same features. It has a save, rewind, pause feature, bunch of built-in games, and it's $80 too. But if you're really, unless you're like 45 years old, you're going to want the Sega Genesis one, not the
Yeah.
Atari one, but they're both good buys.
I mean, if you're going to buy both, then yeah, buy both. If you're only going to buy one, you should
Yeah,
buy
if
the
you're-
Genesis one.
Genesis one.
you
yeah.
get the Genesis one. So as long as the systems are built well and they're not buggy and they're not falling apart and the cords don't get frayed, I think it's a great buy. It's a steal at $80.
Yeah,
Yeah, it
especially, and like you said, you can play all your old games.
Yeah,
too.
you can just slap in a cartridge and play it.
And another good thing is Genesis card games aren't that expensive. They're not.
Yeah, just for collector wise, if you go to there's a couple local shops here in Arizona that we go to that have used games. You want to collect Nintendo, unless you just got that Severance package, you didn't know it was coming. So expensive.
Yeah.
When Contra is probably pulling down $45 to $50 for an unboxed copy of Contra.
And there's millions of them out there. They
And
made so many.
It's just because it's popular.
Yeah, it's sad.
I remember back in the day in Nintendo games, this is like retro collecting in general, you could pick up any old school Nintendo game for about 10, maybe $12.
Yes.
If it was a rare game, then it was more money, of course.
Exactly.
But for the most part, most games were probably under $25.
I remember when games were $5.
Yeah, I
remember that.
I remember buying my Ninja Gaiden for Nintendo for $5.
Yeah,
And
there's
what
no
you-
way. It's probably $25 right now, easy.
Yeah, easy.
Yeah.
And that's like
Ridiculous.
a damaged one.
So if you want to be a retro collector and you want to start with Sega Genesis, this is not a bad buy to get because
No.
you get a bunch of the games you can play. It has HDMI out, so it's easier to record it if you have like a capture card and stuff
Yes.
like that because it's HDMI. And
And also get it too if you want to go the legal route and not get a Raspberry
Yeah,
Pi.
no, yeah,
if
no,
you
yeah.
don't want to do that, I mean that's why you get this Genesis system too.
so I like anything in Atari. Not necessarily. I like Atari games because I grew up with the Nintendo, but I did play the Atari every now and then, and it has a charm to it. It really
yeah.
does. And there's Kaboom is probably my most favorite.
Oh, Kaboom.
Kaboom, Adventure, and Yard's Revenge are probably my top three.
Yard's Revenge is my number one.
What was the ice game in there too?
Ice Climbers.
No, the one with the penguins.
Frostbite.
Yeah,
That's
there
the
you
one.
go. There you go. I
Well,
love
Ice
Frostbite.
Climbers Nintendo. Why did you say that?
Yeah, but no, I love Frostbite.
And this Keystone Capers is pretty good.
So there's some solid games. Like, even if you've never played an Atari, those games you just need.
even
They're fun
boxing.
games.
I even like the Superman game on Atari. I know a lot of people hated it, but I figured it out when I was a kid. It was fun. It actually had an ending, so you have to give it.
But
credit for that.
$80 is a little rich for me for the Atari. But
Oh, yeah.
but Sega Genesis, it's a great buy.
And you know what?
Coming
I-
out this year sometime, probably Christmas times when this thing's
Oh,
gonna
yeah.
come out.
Yeah, and not to be mean to Atari, you could probably wait a little bit on that. Maybe it'll go down in price. Like,
You'll find it probably in a discount
yeah,
at Walmart or whatever.
For like $30. I
or
bet.
oddly enough, Bed Bath and Beyond.
Yeah,
sometimes
that's
sell those.
Walgreens.
Yeah,
Walgreens sells them.
Yeah.
So that's the thing about this thing. They sell them everywhere. Unlike the Super Nintendo Mini, which they only made 7 of them, and they thought, oh, whoopsie daisy, we did it again. So you'll be able to find this thing, and I think it's a great buy
Yeah,
as long as
I'm-
it's well made.
Yes.
Nintendo's allergic to money. They can make 50 million copies of Super Nintendo and they'll sell them. I
and-
don't know why they just don't do it.
And I know that Sega will never do this, but I would love a classic Sega commercial for this.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
I would love that, and or even do one about Genesis does with Sega.
Yeah, Nintendo don't.
Yeah, even though they're friends now, so they really wouldn't do that. But it's
It's
true on
got to
this
have
case.
twice the mega power. It's got to have
Yeah,
all
twice the games.
Yeah, all the same
Blast processing.
Yeah,
the
blast
games.
processing, all the stupid crap that they made up marketing BS.
Exactly, quadruple the games.
So I think it's a good thing. It's fairly priced for how many games you're getting. Is again, I keep saying is, but build quality is important.
Yes, we
So
gotta
if people
test
buying them and
that.
they break and they're crap, then it's not worth the money. But hopefully they are, because we bought a smaller flashback Atari a couple years ago and it was fine. I played all the games well.
Oh, yeah.
It was fun. So speaking of Atari, completely removed from that flashback console, there's again the Atari box showed up. We talked about this about 4 or 5 episodes ago.
Yeah, we did.
But basically, now they finally showed off the whole thing, and it looks like in a 2600 has the wood grain. It has the
there's different
lines.
versions. They said,
and there's one that's like red and black.
Black, yeah.
which looks more. I want to say modern.
Modern, yeah.
But
more
again, if
sleek.
you're buying this thing, you got to get the wood one. I don't care what anyone says.
Yeah, exactly.
It's classic.
But the issue I'm having is more double, not double speak, more very obscure speak. Where I'm trying to find the quote here. And they're not being upfront with everything. But they did show off what it actually, the ports. So you have an HDMI out. So, okay, that's high definition. 4 USB ports and an SD slot. So I'm guessing maybe it's going to support ROMs.
Yeah, updates.
Updates like that. So you can I don't know if they didn't say if it would or not, but if it has an SD slot, someone's going to figure out a way to get ROMs on this thing.
Oh, yeah, it's a matter of time.
And then you get the CEO just saying things again. Just like,
open-ended.
just these open-ended comments. Oh, it's going to play current games. Well, this thing's going to be strong enough to play current PC games? Or is it going to play current indie games like Stardew Valley and, Undertale? Those that are not very graphically
exactly
strong games?
Yeah, well, I don't know.
But that's it. They give you this vague statement. Current games? So this thing going to be able to play Destiny 2?
No.
That's a current game.
No.
There's no way.
Well, then why the hell did you say current games
It's going
then?
to be able to play Block Boy, okay?
Yeah, it's going to play stuff like Super Meat Boy, maybe Castle Crashers, those type of games. But say, this is going to be a budget console for indie titles, but they're just leaving it open-ended.
The problem with doing that, you're going to raise expectations so high, and when it crashes, there are going to be people that are going to disappoint, and more people that are going to just can't wait for it to crash so they can throw it in your face. Well, you gave them that opportunity.
Exactly.
And
Why'd you do that?
I don't know. I've read that it was, and I read that it wasn't, that this thing's going to be a crowdfunded, like a Kickstarter.
Oh, wow.
Oh, my Lord. I don't want to cuss, but we don't want to buy kickstarting consoles ever again. They fail.
After the Oni,
the Ouya, how the heck you say that? The little box thing that would it get millions of dollars?
Yeah, it was.
They got $8 million,
and it turned out like crap.
Yeah,
because guess what? It's funny. It's like the curse of too much money.
Yeah.
Then you feel like, I got to do all these extra things, and then you end up not meeting any of your goals because you went crazy.
Because you have so high expectations.
I guarantee that's not going to. There's never been that one ever good again. There's no way they'll make that kind of.
Yeah,
you know
this is for the Atari box. The company said it wants to bring both current and classic gaming content to its new device. It will contain modern internal specs.
What's that mean?
What does that mean? Is this thing going to be strong as an Xbox One, a PS4?
It can't be. Well, one thing, from what I hear from this...
But that's not modern specs. What does it mean by that? Or really, really crappy PC? I remember I was on a Reddit thread, and a guy was looking at the design. He's like an engineer type guy. He goes, doesn't look like there's an internal fan. So this processor can't be that powerful, because if it doesn't need a fan, then it's not going to overheat. Like, if you took the fan off an Xbox One or a PS4, that thing would overheat in seconds.
Or they maybe what they're thinking of is that companies will make like an Atari version of the game?
I don't know.
Well, that's weird.
I don't know. I don't know.
Why would they do that? Why would they do them a solid? Like, we're going to do this for
And when
you.
did the CEO come on and say, you know what, we have a dozen developers on board. We're going to have, we're looking at a window of maybe 10, 15 games on launch. We're going to have nothing. It's just current internal specs.
The problem with saying that is that even the Switch doesn't even have a strong enough to run Destiny 2. We're saying this will?
Exactly.
Yeah, see, like when you say the words current specs.
And like you said, what a better move would have been is have, like you said, indie developers were making new Atari games.
Yeah, like what is this thing going to truly be? No one knows.
Yeah.
And then they keep giving these vague statements, and it's this stupid corporate BS that everyone hates. And when you come out and say, well, guys, let's get some Kickstarter going, and if we get this much money, it's going to be this powerful. And if you get this much money, no, it's going to fail.
Well, yeah.
Because a few years ago, me and N15 PCA sat in at the... it was when it was the Chameleon.
Yeah, the Chameleon.
They had a
Game on Expo.
A Game on Expo in Mesa, Arizona, and they had like a presentation, and we're sitting there listening to the guy pitch it, and we're like, that's really expensive for what we're not getting. And then talking about, we're going to have special edition colors, and no, that's stupid.
You gotta wait until it's successful first.
Yeah, before you start doing things like that.
Well, from what I remember, is basically the guy ended up buying the friggin' like the Atari Jaguar mold
shell,
and he was more happy about making colors. Not I want what's inside the game, not what's the outside.
Yeah, that's what this feels like. I feel like I'm getting bamboozled again.
And also, that's a bad omen to buy Jaguar. Okay,
because it was cheap.
Yeah, don't do that.
I guess apparently some dentist company was using the shell for like one of their like X-ray machines. So certain if you go to a dentist's office, you might see an Atari Jaguar
Yeah,
shell.
exactly.
Yeah, it's
That's
so
so
silly.
weird.
It's
As
just
long
a-
as it doesn't growl at me, I think I'll be
growl.
good.
Yeah, right.
So
And
this
then the
is a fail.
whole
Thing's a fail. It's a
Yeah,
fail.
exactly. An absolute fail. I
Atari
mean,
box, Atari fail.
yeah, that's what I think too. And I'm a diehard. I love Atari.
Yeah.
I'm over 40 years old. I'm that demographic who would want to get this, and I'm still not interested in getting it.
Again, price point. Again, you say modern internal specs. This thing would be $100.
If it's
Even then-
150,
but,
200, you're out of your
Yeah,
mind.
once you
Yeah.
start climbing that ladder, you're looking at Nintendo Switch is $300, right?
Yes.
So you're saying this thing it can't be that expensive. I'd be out of their minds if this thing was like $300.
Yeah.
Because why would anyone in their right mind buy this and not a Nintendo Switch?
Again,
Exactly.
there's no cooling fan. There's no. So how can they have modern
Yeah,
specs?
because
There's
just
no
by
way.
looking at the design, that that's just someone on Reddit who said he was a engineer guy and he went in with a lot of details. So I'm pretty sure he knows what he's talking about. It doesn't look like it does.
Yeah.
Just from looking at the thing, it's just pretty skinny and pretty small.
Yeah,
looking.
exactly.
It looks like a very small DVD player.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Atari, that's a bad move.
Yeah, stick with the $80. If you're gonna, don't risk this.
And
right
the
now.
sad thing is, by doing this, there's kids this generation going to associate Atari with this, and not what Atari used to be.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's the problem.
But Atari isn't what it used to be.
No, but they're not. But I mean, but how the fact it was the first big console besides the brown box to come out there and say,
Yeah.
"Hey, look at these games," like the history of it.
Yeah.
They're not going to know that. They're going to know it as a abject failure and an idiot.
Yeah,
that
yeah.
made all
Oh,
these
yeah, part
promises.
2.
Yeah, they're not going to know it as that golden age of bits and boops
Yeah.
and blocks and being
Yeah.
like, oh, okay, like, because it's still fun. You can, like you said, you can put in all those old games that we talked about and still have fun.
I could play Yard's Revenge for about 20 minutes.
Yeah,
25 minutes.
exactly.
And then Keystone Capers, same thing. You know, there's certain games I can do
Pitfall,
that.
Pitfall. Those are still great games. But this thing, like we talked about earlier, there's an Atari Flashback console that does all that. So
Yeah.
this thing's in limbo of what the heck it wants to be.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And again, and the CEOs aren't doing a very good job of. They think they're trying to build suspense. Are they trying to build like mystery?
No, it's just making
This
it
isn't
worse.
Stranger Things. We don't want, we don't want mystery in our game consoles. You don't know what you're buying.
I know, right?
So like, how much the thing costs? How much you got?
Exactly.
Yes. Some con man with his thing come on, man. You want to buy his Atari box? You
No,
have
it's
to-
just the guy from friggin' Resident Evil 4.
Yeah, yeah,
He's
yeah. Come on, man. That's what strike a deal. What do you got here? That's what it feels like. Like it's a con man. I project failure for this.
Me too. I'm sorry, unfortunately.
I'm not even. I can't even say. I'm cautiously optimistic. No, I'm completely 100% down on this.
Yeah, me too.
like I said, the only positive is if they actually get new Atari games. That's about it.
Yeah, I guess that'd be kind of
That'd
fun.
be, that'd
yeah.
be kind of cool, but
Maybe that's
But,
what it should have been the first place, like you said earlier.
yeah.
They moving on to our next topic, the Evo fighting tournament took place in
Yeah.
Vegas again this year. I didn't watch any of the fights. My brothers did. So, do you guys want to start with Street Fighter?
Yeah, we'll
I guess
start
there was
with
a bit,
Street Fighter.
I read some articles, but I didn't actually watch it. So, to my understanding, is one of the guys just blew it,
Yes.
completely blew it.
Yeah, Punk did, yeah.
So, did he Atlanta Falcons this thing?
Basically, what happened is there's a winner and losers bracket. He didn't even lose any because he was best 3 out of 5. Got to the finals, so that means in order for him to lose, the other guy had to beat him both times in each thing 6 times, and that's what happened.
Yeah.
6, and he only had to win 3.
So-
he only had to win 3.
So
he
you
only
pulled,
won 1.
You pulled the Patriots,
Yeah,
actually.
yeah.
You got it perfect all the way there.
Yeah, and then lost it.
He lost at the finals against the Giants. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you could, I've seen pictures and stuff, but you can see that he was nervous. It looked like he was starting to feel the heat. And the other guy looked like a cool as a cucumber.
Yep.
Because the sad thing is the other player, for the life of me, can't remember his name, but he's
We'll fall on it and put it in here.
yeah, he is a classic Street Fighter player. He's been in Evo so many times, and
It's
he's
his
been that
second home.
veteran. Yeah, and he's never won one. So it was like that veteran going off the new kid, and the new kid started panicking.
He felt the heat.
crazy.
And he was a Kuma, and he was just so aggressive.
Oh,
He just got
yeah.
in there and destroyed him.
And that's what I think everyone loved, is that because in fighting games, there's people that play defensive and offensive, and people love it when people are offensive.
And if you know your opponent is struggling, you just keep attacking those weaknesses, and you make him mess up and mess up and mess up and mess up.
And one of the highlights, he did the Raging Demon to him on stage at Evo, and everyone was
the
like,
finals,
"Oh!"
I saw that too. That was
And
crazy.
he was doing taunts, like he was really getting in the mind of the players as he went back from the loser bracket to the freaking.
Well, I'm sure Karen is the strongest character, but Karen is such it's a
Technical.
great counter, technical, but if you're waving and you're going
Yeah.
someone's being aggressive,
Great,
it's
get a
gonna
can.
kill you.
Yeah, and
get
that's
a
what
can.
Punk was using was
Karen,
Karen, and
yeah.
it did not.
It didn't fare well for him.
No.
I feel bad for the guy because
Yes.
you don't want someone. If it was hard fought the whole way and then he lost, no, he went basically perfect all at the end,
Yes.
and then he's crumbled at the
And
end.
what's sad, he would have been the first American to ever win the
Yeah.
tournament.
Yes,
if he'd have won.
exactly. And
But you know what? He's a young guy, right?
Yeah, he's
so
a-
he'll come back.
yeah, he's a young guy. It's like one of those things when you see in sports where it's like the veteran wins, and you're like, no, just take a lesson from this.
Exactly.
Sit here and think like, okay, I have this. I got the nerves. I've been here before.
And what was said, he actually even picked different fighters throughout the tournament. You never see that. Everyone picks
Yeah.
their favorite. That's how talented he was to get to the finals. He was picking different fighters. I don't remember the other fighters, but he did pick other fighters, as I recall watching it. So that was kind of funny.
It was, and then and also I think he did get teared up at the
Yeah,
end. He
and
got
you feel-
second place.
You feel
Punk
bad
was
for
like,
the guy
oh.
because you literally had everything and then you flubbed it. You completely flubbed it, dude. You lost 6.
Yeah. One thing is, I did like his mom, though. His mom was great. That was the.
Yeah, having parents
That's my
support.
boy there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, how many people can say their mom supports their video game playing?
Yeah, exactly. So
How many times is your kids playing in Manly Bay, a friggin' arena?
exactly.
And then this thing was aired on Disney, which was
And
cool.
ESPN.
And
Yes,
ESPN, so that's
very
cool.
cool.
I like that. I like the idea that maybe someone just flipped it to the channels like, oh, is that a video game? And then they sat down and watched, oh, Street Fighter, that looked really cool.
See,
Yes, and-
thing is that it's so easy and reliable for people because kicking and punching, people understand that. Yeah, they got some weird powers, but they can understand that.
Oh,
part of
but
it.
they see the power bar. Oh,
Yeah.
when he gets hit, it goes down.
Yeah.
Oh, I get that.
They get that. It's
And
not
also,
complicated.
what's cool too, like from the comments, that's where people say like Evo is one of the best video game tournaments out there because you see it easily. Okay, they're fighting, they're going losing battle. You can play defensive and offensive.
And there's strategy, but it's one-on-one. It's not like CS:GO,
Yes.
or any like the MOBA type games. It's just really hard to watch if you don't know all the lingo and all the
Yeah.
strategies. It's like, what am I looking at? Like, if you were to show me a game of cricket, I couldn't tell you if someone was winning or losing, because I don't get it.
League of Legends, especially.
Yeah,
You'd
that's-
be
yeah,
like,
the MOBA. That's
Yeah,
the MOBA
you'd
game.
be like,
Yeah.
well, what's happening? I don't
Yeah.
understand this.
And then if someone said some weird lingo, you'd be like, okay, whatever that means. I don't know.
And the only thing about fighting games is, and then airing it on something like Disney Channel, is I heard that there was like a little kerfuffle with, because women in fighting games dress very scantily. That's just a thing with fighting games. But you're airing this thing on Disney Channel
And ESPN.
and ESPN, so someone like picked Cammy, and of course
Yeah.
everyone knows who Cammy looks like. For some reason,
Yes.
thinks it's great to fight with blunt floss, so that's just the way you fight
Yeah.
when your name is Cammy. And then I guess he picked the default costume,
Yeah.
and then on the next rounds, she had a different costume. So they probably told him, "Hey, this is airing on TV. We can't be having
And one
butt
thing he
cheeks."
did the zipper move, and she's doing the corkscrew, and
Yeah, you see everything.
you're seeing it turn
Yeah,
over.
and then if you
and they
think-
cut away real quick, they're like, oh, okay.
Yeah, and then when you finish with that, there's like it pauses
And
you
it pauses
see-
on her butt
Yeah, her
cheeks.
butt cheeks are like right there on
Yeah.
the screen. So it's like it's too much for Disney, too much,
Yeah.
especially on ESPN. Like if you want to be that mainstream, you can't be having those kind of costumes. And I
Yeah.
knew that I had to worry about that because I was telling people like, what if some guy just doesn't think and is like, oh, pick this.
Well, that's also I know they didn't pick it this year, but I remember last year's Evo, Mika was a big character, and I was
Yeah.
worried about that too. But no, I didn't see anyone play Mika this time.
Yeah.
so.
Yeah, I think she's kind of rubbed. Like she's dropped out of the meta of
yeah,
people who want to play her.
Yeah.
and then
They showed other again, because Evo is a big fighting game. It's not just Street Fighter. They show Smash Brothers. They show Injustice, Mortal Kombat X.
Yes.
And then there's like Blaze Blue, Guilty Gear, and then there's a couple like fan favorites. Like they even had Dragon Ball Z Fighters was there.
Yeah, it was
but
like
it wasn't
a-
like an official tournament, but because it's still in beta basically.
Well, wait until next year. We'll
So did you catch any of the other tournaments?
yes, I caught. I'm pretty sure it was not-
Guilty Gear or
Guilty. It was Guilty Gear, and it was
XR third trigger, whatever it's called.
and it was a great finisher because it was the new contender fighting against the 2015 champion, and they both met in the finals. And he did a double perfect on him.
Didn't lay a single touch on him.
And that is so hard to do, especially with grandmasters like these two,
Yeah.
to pull off a double perfect.
When
is
that
like-
happens to you at Evo, they drag you up the stage and they tear you apart.
the crowd takes you away. Ah!
The crowd
That's-
drags you up the stage.
Yeah, bro. The last time that happened, it was a guy who was the kid in Chun-Li fight from like so long ago when it was Street Fighter 3. The guy
That's
parried all his
literally,
attacks.
that is literally the what made Evo explode.
Yeah,
because he parried a 15-hit combo.
Oh yes.
That's insane.
And
was
then
super
followed it
low.
up with his own super combo. That was crazy.
Yeah, you just
you want
look
to
it
see
up.
you want to see a bunch of guys flip out that isn't when it's not a sporting event.
I don't know if we can get a link to it, but
Yeah, I'll find it.
Yeah,
It's all-
it's
it's
incredible.
And also, it's really grainy, but it's like old.
Yeah, this is
school.
before HD cameras and phones and
Yes.
stuff. So this is very crappy. If you know Street Fighter 3, you know exactly what's happening.
And also the Smash Brothers one was kind of cool because it was
Was it the Wii U version?
It was the Wii U version, and it was a versus a new contender versus Zero. And if
Oh,
you
that
don't
Zero
know,
guy. Zero's a king of god of
yeah.
Smash.
And so it was Zero's Diddy Kong versus this guy's Bayonetta, and he actually pulls off the win. Bayonetta guy.
Oh, so Zero finally lost
The
it?
Zero
Wasn't there a
lost.
bounty?
Yes,
There was
'cause
a bounty on Zero's head.
Yeah, Zero's that good, and it was crazy because he was playing offensive with Bayonetta, and like he was down a bunch of damage. Like he was like almost like 100 and like.
Oh
40.
yeah, a gust of wind take you out.
Exactly, and he does this gutsy move where he knocks Diddy Kong in the air, and then he does air combos off the screen, like the little bubbles are showing.
Yeah. When you're
And they're like, oh, boom, he knocks him out and beats him. I'm like, oh.
That is amazing because he doesn't lose that often. But the thing is, though, the newer characters have much more moves and have so many more.
Yeah.
They're like real fighters now, so it's like.
Exactly.
But hey, that's a tournament. He can pick
Again,
whatever
he
you
can
want.
pick whatever he wants too, though.
Yeah.
Exactly. And there was
Like he's only relegated to only certain characters.
Yeah.
You can play whoever you want.
Yeah, and then what else was there? There was the King of Fighters one, which was pretty cool because they were fighting, and I believe it was Irie. The big moment was Irie versus I can't remember his name. He's basically his Japanese counter character for King of Fighters, and he does this really cool counter.
Oh yeah, he has like a chest plate, and he's like he has the bandana.
Yeah, bandana. His eyes are
I-
always closed.
Yeah, I think I know what you're talking about. Yeah, he's a funny guy.
And then he did this really cool counter grab. Subaru took half his power
Oh, wow.
and came back and won. And like it was great because he was down and out. This guy, he's like, oh no, and he got that counter, he got the momentum, and was able to beat him. It was awesome.
So, and it's so funny. Every Evo, you think, oh man, that was a great Evo. It's always great because something about fighting games. It's 1-on-1. It's you versus the other guy, and it's just it brings back that arcade where you walked in the arcade and there was like everyone who grew up with arcades. There was always like a group of guys that were like the Street Fighter guys, and they were like they had their own little like hierarchy of like who was the coolest guy, the best guy.
Yes.
And this is this on the grandest stage. Because it's from everyone, from Japan, from America, Brazil, all the best fighters come.
From China and from
It truly is the Iron Fist Iron King tournament.
Yes, and also on a side note, I thought was really interesting too was Sonic Fox actually lost a Mortal Kombat type game. He was playing Injustice 2, but it's basically the same kind of system.
It's the same. I want to say same fight engine, basically.
Yes, the same fight engine, and he actually because Sonic Fox is like one of the best players, and he actually lost to someone playing as Flash, which is Flash is a good character, but he's not one of the main top tier
guys.
Yeah, he's not Superman, he's not Black Adam,
Yeah.
type character, and he actually won, and it was crazy because Sonic.
It's
Fox,
cool to see.
yeah.
And the thing is, we all love when the champions win, but it's kind of cool to see the king fall.
Yes.
It is kind of cool. We kind of want to see the new guy take the throne. It's super cool. That's what makes fighting games so cool.
Yes.
And again, there's always next year.
I love
Yes.
that, and I love the fact. Not only that, I love that, and I also love the fact when a new person beats the king, and also when they're playing obscure characters. I
Yeah.
love that no one plays. Like in Street Fighter, going back to that, we had someone to get to Dow, someone got to the top 8. So
And what's the
Exactly.
face? I remember it was about 4 years ago. He got all the way up there with Rufus.
yeah,
In Street Fighter
Exactly.
4. That's insane because Rufus sucks.
Yeah, it was weird.
I
how
remember
that
Rose
happened.
got to a.
Yeah, I remember Rose got really high up there
Rose,
too. But it's usually Ken, Ryu, Akuma,
Yep.
and then it's just that Charlie,
Maybe.
Yeah.
5.
And then and like I remember one year Smash Brothers, a guy got to the top, I think 8 or 7 with Mega Man. Which
Yeah,
is
which
a
is
character.
tough.
Yeah, which is usually is going to be for Smash Brothers is going to be like the Samuses, the freaking Diddy Kongs,
Some of the sword characters,
yeah,
Marth and Ike and those kind of guys because they're more technical.
Yes.
And Mega Man's almost just like a fun character.
yeah, he's the keep away guy, but he like was doing some crazy things in that tournament. But yeah, that's what makes Evo so fun.
And
And of
they have
course the
tourna-
announcements.
Yeah, then they see that Evo is a tournament, but they also, since it's so huge now, it's like a mini E3.
Yeah.
So there was announcements. Lots of new characters for games. Street Fighter 5. Let's start with the worst.
Yes.
Street Fighter 5 announced its new character. Oh, cool. Who are we gonna get? We get a guy that was a boss in Final Fight. His name is Abigail. I'm pretty sure it's a woman's name. I don't know. I don't get. And this character, he's ugly. He's not cool to look at. He literally looks like they took the Incredible Hulk and like stretched him out a little bit
Yeah.
because he's as big as the screen.
Yeah.
Well, it's funny because he's so the analysis is so obscure. My brother didn't know, and I know because I played
I had to
Final
look
Fight
it
a
up.
lot. I had to look it up and show him, "Hey, look, here it is." And we both looked it up, and I showed it to him. He's like, "Oh yeah, that's him."
But if
The
you look at
fight.
if you look at the sprite and you look at this character, like did this character like fall into a vat of mutagen and become this guy because he is not as big as he is?
he's Bane.
Yeah, like and he's just an ugly looking character, and it's just like
Yeah.
Street Fighter 5. No one wants to
Yeah.
play this ugly.
Furnace, you have a bunch
Jerk.
of old characters you can
That aren't
use.
in the game.
Yeah,
Yes, and-
the ugly.
Well, yeah, you have Street Fighter 3. You have a bunch of characters from
4.
4, yeah, like that you're not using. And also, that's what makes me so sad about.
Do we
Street
want
Fighter.
another big giant character?
Yeah,
Those
you know?
again, give me Zangief, and that's all I needed.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah,
And that's what makes me mad about Street Fighter. We're so hyped when Evo comes around for Street Fighter because it's a really good game, But other than that, it's like it's lost everything else. Like it's basically that's the hardcore gamer tournament game, and that's about it. And that's what makes me feel really bad about Street Fighter.
And so that then speaking of Street Fighter news, it's not a Street Fighter game, but it kind of is. And if anyone remembers Street Fighter EX, they were on the PlayStation. They were 3D Street Fighter games that weren't very good.
No.
I remember maybe playing one once or twice, but I never got into it. But apparently, the original creator of those games got some of his characters back.
Yes,
And then is making a whole brand new fighting game. It's not Street Fighter, but it has some of the old EX characters in it. And they showed off like a kind of a demo. And it's some of the fan favorites, the Scoliomania, whatever, I don't know how you say his name, but
Yes, yeah.
he's just a silly character who like flies through the air and he does like a corkscrew attack.
And he wears like a generic skeleton.
It's the
costume.
skeleton costume from Karate Kid. Remember when they were chasing Danny? That's exactly
Oh,
what
that's
it is.
terrible.
And I'm sorry, I saw a lot of people got excited. I'm like, oh, okay, that weird game that I didn't like very much.
Yeah, well, like I said, it could be fun. I'm still waiting on that because I've never
Is this a
played
budget
this game.
title?
Kind of.
Or
yeah.
is it a full-blown $60 fighting game?
If you would have told me they were going to do a remake of Rival Schools in this
Oh,
game,
yeah, way better.
I think Rival School might be a little better. I might be
Or-
more excited for that.
or do rival schools and have those characters in it or
yeah,
something.
and bring
Yeah.
some of those characters.
That would have
guy.
been better. That would be a better idea.
Because now you
than
have the
this.
school guy and some Italian wrestler dude. I think.
Yeah,
his name.
the characters are very, very weird looking. And this is back again. This is original PlayStation 1 graphics. So everything
Yeah.
was just, oh, we got 3D models and we're going to try to do this,
Yeah.
this, and that. And it was just a slow, crappy game.
Yeah, it's weird, but
This one actually looks like it actually has a good fighting engine in it. So I just
graphics
I
is
still
great.
care about the characters.
Yeah. I can go into a broader commentary why I hate 3D games on PS1 because I think all
Yeah,
of them look bad.
there's
They were
very.
very bad.
I'm sorry.
That's
but
for another podcast.
That's nostalgia biting you in the butt. If you think
Yeah.
it was great, there's very few PlayStation 1 games that I can go back to this day and still like, oh, this is so great. No, that's a
Especially
whole.
3D.
Yeah,
Especially 3D.
3D.
But
And when it comes to fighting games, I think more so than any other type of game, you fall in love with the characters,
yes.
and those characters will get you through a bad game.
exactly.
These characters I have no love for, so it's not going to unless the fighting is amazing, because the characters aren't doing it for me.
No,
They're just
yeah.
not. They don't.
No.
They
'Cause,
hold they hold nothing in my heart.
Yeah, because when you look
Yeah.
at the characters, not to be mean to the
The designer.
but like you got generic, what's it called, priestess girl.
Yeah.
You have generic samurai guy.
Yeah.
And then you got generic main character.
Yeah, okay, you have the Ryu type character, you
Yeah.
have this type of character, and it's just their archetypes.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is fine, I guess, but that was kind of a come out of nowhere announcement.
Yeah.
They also announced some new fighters for Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. They showed off Gamora, which we knew she was in the
Yes.
game. We saw her in the trailers,
Yeah.
and she looks like she plays like Deadpool because she has guns and stuff.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
kinda
and she
similar.
does the jump shot. That she
Yeah, and
does,
it's almost like if you were to overlay Deadpool from 3, it would like be almost similar. So I'm thinking maybe that's what this character is.
Yeah.
And they showed off one of my favorite characters from Darkstalkers. They showed off Jeddah because he's kind of like a vampire blood demon monster guy.
yeah.
Like he looks all noble, but he's also kind of creepy and crazy too. You know,
Yeah.
he has like the big sickle, and he has a
and
he's a
it-
cool character. I like him. He moves
Yeah.
really fun. Looks like he has a lot of cool combos too.
he was.
See, like if
actually-
Donovan got like a big old like coolness factor bumped up on him, that's
Yeah.
what he looks like.
and it's interesting because they pick him out of all the Darkstalker characters because he was like the third main bad guy.
Yeah, and Darkstalkers
Yeah,
3.
So I'm like, wow, you pass up all the
John
Donovan.
Tobin.
You got Morgan, but that Morgan
then
goes
you have
Morgan.
Morgan, but then you have Lord Raptor. You
Felicia?
have Felicia. Is Felicia in the game? She wasn't past Marvel vs. Capcom.
Yeah, I
games.
don't know
if
if she's
she's
in
in
this
this
one.
I don't know,
I don't think
but-
she
So,
is.
so yeah, you have a bunch of characters. I always like the robot guy, Zuko, or he has like a weird Aztec
yes,
name.
yeah. I
Zoro,
know.
or whatever. He was a cool guy. I liked him.
Yeah.
He was a
My
joke
favorite
on
character is
me.
BB Hood from the third game. That's always
Yeah,
my favorite
BB Hood,
character.
yeah.
She's funny. She's a fun character too.
Yeah.
But like, did they announce any other characters? I thought they announced
Did
somebody
they?
else.
Did they? Oh, you mean from Evo or from Marvel vs. Capcom?
Just Marvel vs. Capcom. So I remember they might have done something at Comic Con. I'm trying to think, or it was like
There's so many announcements today at Comic
there's so many announcements. I'm gonna just do a quick little thing. I thought it was weird that they didn't do like an official trailer. They just did it was Spider-Man. But of
Oh,
course we knew
okay,
Spider-Man
right.
was gonna be in the game. Confirmed 4 more characters. Let me click on this real
Okay.
quick just so I
But,
recap up.
but yeah.
They did it like in a weird gameplay. Like 2 people were actually playing the game.
Yeah.
Why not just do a pre-recorded video where you can show off some combos and super moves?
Yeah,
Like they
some
did it in a
talk.
stupid way. It was a
Yeah.
stupid reveal.
And not very wise because it was kind of, Yeah, I mean the fighting was okay, but they kind of switched out characters. I'm like, don't show us Chun-Li and Captain Marvel. We know those characters. They kept switching them out. I'm like, ah.
So here we go. These are the other characters that they showed, and so there's like a shaky cam footage of it, but I hate those. I'd rather wait for a real trailer. Nemesis from Resident Evil, Mike Hagar from Final Fight, Frank West from Dead Rising, and Spider-Man. So those are 4 extra characters, but Frank West is so stupid.
I know,
No one plays him.
Out of Capcom too.
It kind of reminds me of when they put the Ace Attorney guy.
Yes,
No one plays him.
Phoenix, right?
Yeah, Phoenix Wright. No one plays him. It's just stupid.
People always like to play him just for his super move.
Yeah, he's like he finds all the evidence and then you're guilty.
Because it does a lot of damage.
But you have to find it's stupid how you do it. It's really dumb.
You have to find all the evidence and then
Well, I remember Frank West when he was in Catwoman vs. Tatsunoko made more sense because you had Tatsunoko on the other end, so you had to have a silly character to match it, but Capcom has Marvel here. There's way more better characters.
Oh yeah, and Capcom you can pull out so many. I'd rather have Captain Commando come back.
Yeah, Captain Commando. I love Captain Commando. Was like my man.
Yeah.
Strider, Captain Commando was like my team. I love those.
You just get Bionic Commando. Sorry.
Yeah. You get Bionic Commando, the silly version of Bionic Commando with hot dog arm.
But you know what? If you just get the classic skin, he's the classic.
Yeah, Super Joe.
Super Joey's all.
Back when characters could be called Super Joe and it wasn't a joke. But other DLC new characters in Tekken 7, this was like probably the biggest, it was the biggest shock to me, even more than the Street Fighter EX. Like, you see the trailer, it's a Hitachi, I believe that's his name, he's sitting there, and you hear a voiceover like, no, that can't be who I think it is. Then you kind of see his arm, then you see his physique. Holy crap, it's Geese. Geese Howard from King of Fighters and all his BSery. And then he has a counter that can counter anything. Mm-hmm. And he's super. If you touch him during this animation, he grabs you and he slams you on the ground.
Exactly. No matter what. Super move. You can be doing a flying kick. If he does the right counter, you're done.
The only thing he doesn't counter is fireballs. So if it's an actual physical attack, grab moves, anything. And it's so funny because it was always the bane. You get the Geese like, okay, I gotta time my attacks. I can't too aggressive because he's gonna combo me. And then even in the trailer, they show him do his counterattack. It was like a montage of counterattacks. It goes on for like a minute straight of him going, huh, huh, huh. It's like, okay, we get it. He counters.
Yeah, and I love how, because Geese taunts you. Like, whenever he does, like, because in the trailer, he does a super move and he counters it, and then he says, predictable, boom, he slams you like,
he talks crap. He talks crap for you.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, also, if I remember, he was also the character, too, that also did the one where he hits the ground and then that power globes off.
He does it in the trailer, but it wasn't that impressive looking.
No.
Because that thing literally, if you took 2 or 3 hits and he's in it, it kills you. It literally takes all your power.
If he has a full bar and you only have like I said, you only took like maybe 30% damage or 40,
you're done.
I always like to look at that traditional look. You know, he had like
he looked like the Japanese businessman who can kick a lot of butt.
Yeah, exactly. I love that.
But the thing is, personally for me, I like Rock.
Yes.
It's Geese's son. And then he likes Terry, so it's kind of like, he defied his father. Yeah. He has some of his father's moves, and he has some of Terry's moves, so it's like, if Terry and Geese had a son, I don't know how that's possible if it'd be Rock. But it's cool that he's in this game, because Akuma's in it too. So now you have Akuma, Geese in the Tekken game, so it's kind of cool.
Yeah, and also they said Tekken, there's one more guest character coming out. I think 1 or 2 more. I don't know if
they didn't show, they hinted at stuff, but I can't say for sure what any of these characters are going to be.
But yeah, having the Raging Storm in there was so cool. I would have preferred if someone jumping in, he did the Raging Storm, because that always happened in
you do a jump kick, because I mean anyone who plays fighting games, the jump in heavy kick, that's like how you start your combo.
It must be so weird to have Akuma because he can use his fireball, but they don't have projectiles.
They kind of do.
But
you can sidestep in this game.
So you can get behind it and stuff. And also Akuma, of course, has like his Ultra Street Fighter EX moves and stuff. So I love how each character they bring into the series keeps their actual stuff.
Yeah, but Geese has like a ground spark move.
Yeah.
The double whatever you call it.
Yeah, double Lucan, whatever it is.
And then it hits you twice. It's so silly.
Exactly.
But he looks good. The character model looks great. It looks fun.
And again, I'm not a Tekken guy, but this does sound a little exciting. If you know, just from a pure want to see these people all in one game together.
And it's cool that they're adding all these bosses too. I'm like, that's really cool because like. It's awesome to have, Geese in there. He does his taunt. He does that whole, hand wave, come on. I'm like, oh, it's so cool.
Yeah, he has all his little things he does.
Yes.
So that was really cool. They also announced a new game, and it's going to be BlazBlue Cross Tag Battle. So it's going to be BlazBlue and Persona 4, and then some other game I've never heard of.
Yes. Was it RXWY?
Yeah, no, there was a third game besides that one.
Oh.
And Under Night in Birth. I've never heard of this game, but I'm assuming it's another combo-heavy anime fighter.
Yes.
Which I've always loved. The Arc system probably makes the best anime fighters. When I say anime fighters, I mean it's very cartoony graphics, like it looks anime style, and very flashy. Tons of
Yes.
combos. The super moves take up the whole screen. That's an anime
Yeah,
fighter.
like the combos are like this like thing of art, like on the
See,
screen.
unlike something like Street Fighter 4, which isn't an anime fighter, it's more of a traditional.
Yeah.
regular
Yeah, and then the
fighter.
hits are kind of like you have to really pay attention to see the
Like
actual
Arcadia
combo.
Hearts. If
Yeah,
it's an
that
old
would be
PS2
an
that
anime
type of
fighter,
game,
yeah.
anime fighter. That type. If you play, it's an older PS2.
And
game.
then right when the trailer ends, you hear a little squeaky little voice, and I'm like, oh, it's what's her face? It's Ruby Rose from the Ruby pseudo American made anime
slash
from Rooster
cartoon.
Teeth. Personally, I tried watching this show like probably 6 different times. I get about 10 minutes in, I'm like, okay, where's my checklist of anime tropes? Okay, check. Yep, they hit every single anime trope you could possibly think of. I can't watch this anymore.
Yeah.
yeah.
And I mean, I like some of the character designs. I like what's your face's weapon. The scythe is always a cool weapon. I guess it's a scythe and a sniper rifle or something.
Really?
Like a cannon. Yeah, it has like a cannon built into it. So it's kind of a fun little thing. But all the characters are so cookie cutter. I know I'm gonna go and hate. Send me the hate. I am not a fan of Ruby. I think that the name, the stupid pun on the name is stupid.
Yeah, Ruby.
Oh, get it? Her name's Ruby. Da-da-da. Okay, what are we, 5 years old? Anyways, in a fighting game, it could be cool. I just don't necessarily like the character.
Yeah.
But again, I do like Arc Systems. They don't go wrong. They make great games. I don't think they made a bad fighting game ever.
Yeah,
All their fighting games are great.
Blaze Blue was a hit, and if it follows that formula, it's going to be.
Oh, I had to do that. Okay. So also at Evo, they showed off. So we went over the DLC characters. Another thing. It's not necessarily it wasn't fighting game news per se, but it came out around the same time. I guess Mega Man is making a movie, and they found the director and writer. I am worried because the director of the films directed Paranormal Activity 3 and 4.
Oh no!
And those movies suck. I mean, the first one, like Blair Witch, it had its charm because of the way it was shot. But it's like, okay, and they did it again. And they did it again. And they did it again. And he did the last two. So the tread is off those tires for Paranormal Activity. And this is the guy that it's a tandem team.
So hopefully the second guy's better.
It is Harry Jost and Ariel Schluman. I'm pretty sure I'm saying that wrong, but I'll put it up on there if you know how to pronounce it. Kind of worried about it because they literally say, oh, here's our directors and writers. Is it CGI? Is it cartoon? Is it live action? Is it some type of mix? Is it claymation? We don't know what it is. They literally gave us nothing about how this is going to be.
I was worried about this when they said they wanted to make it rated R. That's
that's
so
weird.
But,
ridiculous.
but the thing is, everyone says that. Every single time something
Yeah.
gets announced, like, it's going to be rated R. Okay, guys, we love
Mega Man
Deadpool.
can't be.
Deadpool was great, but it wasn't great because it was rated R. It was great because Deadpool was great.
Yes.
And he happens to be rated R.
Yeah.
Yeah, it didn't somehow, man, we need to find a good family thing, because I could let my nephews play Mega Man, and there's nothing wrong with any of the Mega Man
No,
games.
not one.
They're
Of them.
now,
being
like,
too
the-
hard sometimes.
So if they love Mega Man, they see this movie, oh, rated R, we're going to be blowing people's heads off and stuff. What is this?
That's
So-
ridiculous.
So I'm worried about the directors, I'm worried
Yes.
about the writers, and I'm worried about the whole concept. Because what do? Do you start with, oh, Dr. Light built the world? It's very Astro Boy.
Yeah, you'd have to start from the beginning of because I'm assuming for Mega Man Powered Up, at least what I remember is that he made Rockman to be his assistant, and that was it. And then he was working with Dr. Wily to build robots, and that's when they built. Well, first of all, before they built Rockman, they built Proto Man, which was the beginning.
Yeah, Proto, get it.
Yeah, so prototype. And so that didn't work out, and then eventually Dr. Light and Wily have a fight, and they kind of separate on their ideas, and he becomes a bad guy. And then
Do you make it serious? Do you take it seriously?
I don't know. You do?
Or do you just say it's fun, it's campy, it's Mega Man, Mega Buster? Does he steal the powers? Is it animated or is it live
I'm hoping
action?
it's CGI. I'm hoping it's all CGI cartoon kind of thing. That's
So
what I'm
you do
hoping.
CGI, but do you do CGI realistic looking like the Appleseed movies?
No, I'm more
or
like
you
Astro
CGI
Boy.
like Astro Boy with the
Boy.
big eyes and
Yeah, I think
Or,
up to you, Astro Boy.
I think
Yeah.
more family friendly with this one, guys. I really do.
And if you do live action, you have to do it right, and it's going to be so hard because the costume can come off really wonky. How you can do the transfer of the arm, because his arm comes he has two hands, but when he fights, it transforms
And
into
you have to
the Buster.
factor in budget at that point.
Yes.
I mean, if you get $30 million in animated, it could look amazing. But if you get $30 million to do live action, it's going to look terrible.
Well, there was a Mega Man cartoon. It was I'm pretty sure, wasn't it American made or South American made or something?
Yeah, it was I don't know.
It was
which
a
one.
venture, and it had funny parts in it because it was so silly. Because it reminded me a lot of the Legend of Zelda cartoon, where they made Mega Man was kind of a doofus.
Yes.
It's like, why is he so stupid? But he was definitely not a boy. He was like a man.
Yeah.
Well,
was,
I
like,
would
older.
take that Mega Man over the one from Captain Air when he sounded like he was a chain
And
smoker any
he was
day of the week.
and he was green.
Yeah,
it's
green.
they just did it all wrong.
Come on, let's go.
So,
I mean, that's what he
like,
sounded
because
like.
that show was campy and stupid. So do you
Yeah.
make it like that, or do you? I can't see a serious Mega Man because it's just the Swordsman show isn't serious.
No.
And if you see a bunch of people running around with enemies with such great names like Fireman and Cutman and taking these things seriously,
And Woodman.
it'd be
Sniper
almost
Joe.
yeah. And listen, what Van Whalen,
Van Whalen.
Van
From the
Whalen,
X series, yeah.
So I don't know. I want to see again. It all comes down what the animation looks like. If it's animated at all, it might be live action.
And the thing is, if if
I'm
you
shooting
wanna
for claymation.
Oh yeah, that would be hilarious.
Yeah.
But if you want to look at it from another aspect too, is if they want to make it more serious, it's gonna be so far from me from what the story is. It's not gonna be making.
Then why even call it Mega Man?
Yeah, that's what it has to be if it's gonna be, and I don't see that happening.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, well, let's keep our options.
I'll keep my eyes open on footage or anything that they show off, and it might just die. It might wither on the vine.
I'm not gonna go see it in the theater.
Yeah, if it's, I'm pretty sure there's gonna be a DVD release.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, it would be a disaster if it went to theaters.
Yeah.
Because that just hurts my heart. Because Mega Man deserves better than that.
Yeah.
But also they showed off some 2 new fighters for Dragon Ball Z. Then this goes into the no duh pile. But we got Piccolo and Krillin are gonna be in Dragon Ball Z fighters.
Exciting. Of course, the no-brainer.
No brainers, absolute no brainers. I want to see some of those weird obscure characters, Hydreigon and Lord Slug, like the other guys we talked about before. I want to see some of those characters.
Some of those rare villains that you can see.
Did they actually show footage? I saw pictures.
I saw pictures
Like Katsuma
too.
Magazine, or however you say that, it had like an article, and it showed showed like Krillin with the Destructo disc in his hand, and it showed what's his face working his special beam cannon or his Monica Sopo, however you want to say it.
Whatever, yeah.
But yeah, those were done easy.
Yeah,
Give me some androids.
and they basically
That's
said
what would work.
from the article being translated, they said that Piccolo's going to play with the stretchy arms and have beam attacks, and if he does, like, it's weird if he does a combo and ends it with the beam attack, it'll do more damage. So he's going to be like a combo end with a laser, kind of thing.
I just want his Hellzone grenade.
Yeah, and he did show that one too.
Oh, cool. Yeah, that's his cool move.
And it showed his whatever this one's the light.
Oh yeah, the one he's Gohan.
Yeah, the one he goes like that. Yeah,
That was cool.
and then with Krillin, they said he was more
A distant fighter, right?
fighter, shooting energy attacks. His Destructo disc is unblockable. And
Because it makes sense, because that was the thing in the show where, if you remember from the original Dragon Ball Z, Vegeta was going to try to catch it, and it would have killed Vegeta. Krillin could have killed Vegeta if you would have just let it hit him.
Yeah.
And then he's like, no, you gotta dodge that. You can't let that hit you because it's gonna chop your freaking arm off.
I'd be like, catch your
He
arm.
tries to catch it.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
And what else? Oh, and also Krillin's gonna have his he only did it like once in the Saiyan saga, but he's gonna have his multi-blast Kamehameha.
Oh yeah.
Where he shoots energy and then it spreads. It's like it spreads and it
like
kills,
a shotgun Kamehameha.
Yeah, and so in the game, it's going to be usable where you can control your laser beams with Krillin. So you can shoot like a beam and it'll like arc or whatever you control it.
Oh yeah. So instead of being light, medium, heavy, it's high, mid, low.
Yeah, so it might be like a tracker
yeah.
thing.
We've probably talked about this before, but I don't mind having Captain Ginyu, but you don't need the whole Ginyu Force. Just get one. You don't need the whole force.
Yeah.
Hell, I mean, make it to where if you pick one, but if you pick it with the punch button, you're Jade. So you pick it with the kick button, you're So technically the same character.
Yeah, you don't need the 3 separate characters.
Yeah,
you don't need it.
It'll take up too much
And,
space.
and of course, Trunks. I believe we already talked about that, but yeah.
So that was fun. I think that's everything that came out of Evo. Looking over my notes real quick.
Overall, pretty good Evo.
Yeah, pretty good Evo. That was cool. Again, every Evo's fun.
Oh,
yeah.
If you're even a casual fan of fighting games, especially if you're into Street Fighter, you will get to know these top fighters because they have personalities. It's great. It's wonderful. You'll love it. This is what video games deserve to be. When people say video games need to be like sports and stuff, you watch Evo and you can see, okay, yeah, these guys train super hard.
Exactly,
To do this.
and it's always a sold out event. There's tons of people there. It's not like
It's more than League of Legends. There's more than that.
And the thing is, this is popular, but League of Legends is so much more popular. But I don't get it. I mean, this place is selling out a basketball arena, but League of Legends sell out soccer stadiums in South Korea. It's insane. I could never go see that.
100,000 people watching. I don't get it. I tried to play a couple of these kind of memorable games, but I just can't. They're not my thing.
Yeah.
I pride myself on being a gamer that plays all types of games. MOBAs is literally my least favorite kind of game.
Yeah, it's kind of that weird.
It's right there with Farming Simulator for me. It's not my thing. It's not meant for me.
Or flight simulators.
Yeah, that's kind of not really my.
Now we're not talking like Harvest Moon, where that's not too bad. We're talking literally Farm Simulator 2017.
Exactly.
We're talking that.
And we're not
like real
talking
generic.
we're not talking about Ace Combat here either. We're talking about literally flying different.
So,
Yeah.
and some more video game stuff. Again, Kingdom Hearts 3 showed off a trailer, Toy Story Land,
Yeah.
which is fun.
I'm not a fan.
Surprising.
It's just really funny to hear Toy Story characters speak Japanese. That's just funny. Woody in Japanese. That's
Again,
Yeah,
they
having-
couldn't even get subtitles on it. Come on, guys.
I mean, they couldn't get Tom Hanks out of whatever he's not
Yeah.
doing right now.
Exactly.
To say
Exactly.
something. But, you know, if you're a fan of Kingdom Hearts, I guess it's for you. I played a little bit of the first one, and I played a little bit of the one that was on the DS, Daydream,
Yes.
whatever it was called.
Yeah.
The Kingdom Hearts games always have weird titles. But I don't know. I know there's a guy named Sora. I know he has a key sword, and that's all I know.
No, there's Mickey Mouse.
And I know Mickey Mouse shows up in Donald Duck and
Goofy.
Goofy are your characters, and you go to different Disney worlds, and your powers change depending on what world you're in.
Yeah.
So this one looks like it's gonna have Toy Story World, which is fine. If you're into it, you're probably super excited. But I was
The hype was insane. I'm like, guys, it just to me, I don't get it. You can like it, but it's not for me.
it's clearly
it's
not my
okay.
thing. Also, then I was showed off at the D23, and they showed off this weird Marvel's Powers United. It's a virtual reality game, and
That's
you
odd.
put on a virtual reality helmet, and they showed off. The trailer was like a non-gameplay trailer. It was like one of those fake, you know how Nintendo does those trailers of people playing video games?
Yeah,
You know,
it's like-
so this is just like that. You see a couple people, and they put on a helmet. One person picks the Hulk, one person picks Rocket, one person picks Captain Marvel. Captain Marvel has to be in everything. But and it looks like every other VR game. Your robots come at you and you blast them. That's every single VR game.
It didn't
Yeah,
have
in
to be
existence.
Marvel. It could just be like
you can't
power,
move around in VR.
Power moves.
Because it's just because I actually tried VR a couple of times and it's fun, but I wouldn't pay $600 for a setup. But it's hard to do movement because when you have it so close to your eyes, you want to move your body, but you need to use the sticks, and then you look with your head, so you feel disconnected from your body. Maybe if you play it a lot, you'll get used to it. But I feel disconnected from what I'm doing because you can be looking left and running right. You know, like just imagine doing that in real life, you just fall over. But it's just weird. I don't know.
To me, I just think the whole VR thing is kind of hitting that wall at this
Yeah.
point, and there's not more it can go to. To me, I'm waiting a couple years until HoloLens comes out because that's going to be augmented, where you see your environment
Yeah, see,
and things will be in
that's
it.
a mixed reality. It's
mixed reality.
See, virtual reality is 100% screen in front of your eyes.
Yeah.
Mixed reality is where it will project things, like you'll look at your door and then they can like project something on your door.
See, it still be
Yeah.
realistic.
Yeah, but
know
only
what
you
I'm
can
saying.
see it through your lens.
Yeah,
So I think that's a better way to do because it has application outside of gaming.
yeah.
Like this VR stuff, I'm not impressed. I saw it. I wasn't impressed by
Yeah.
it. I like Marvel, but I think that might be a dud. It was just blah.
Yeah, we'll see what they do with it. Maybe something special, but
But again, honestly, just the VR games that are out now, how many are even worth playing? 1, 2
Yeah.
that are even good?
So that pretty much covers anything. Any other video game stuff?
Splatoon comes out
Oh
tonight.
yeah, Splatoon 2. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's how people, the reviews are. They're okay for it. Just
Yeah.
like the other one, it's a fun game.
Yeah.
I did begin because I don't have a Switch, so I normally don't watch game reviews. But if it's a game I'm never going to play, basically, there was someone brought it up. I forgot who it was. It might have been GameSpot. It might have been Game Informer. But there's a single player that kind of teaches you how to play the game. They go, it's really great. But there's a thing in single player where you grind rails to get around. It's not a multiplayer. So you learn this skill in single player that you can't use in multiplayer.
Oh, I know. I think it's the one where you get to turn it a squid and you go through the line. I think.
No, like it's like grinding. It's like Great Jet Radio, where you grind a rail so then you can like shoot and like use it to traverse the map. You get really good at it in single player just to find out you can never use it as multiplayer.
Kind of sucks.
So it's kind of like, oh, that's lame.
So this one has a story mode now?
Oh, yeah.
A single player mode. I don't necessarily
Yeah.
want to call it a story mode.
Because the thing
Yeah.
is, in the old Splatoon
That's
game, there's
Like you fight bots.
you fight bots, and then there's kind of a story where it's like, oh, defeat the Octa people, but it's like not like a real.
Yeah, it's the very loose narrative. And the cool thing about this one is you can use a lot of the weapons. See, in the original Splatoon, you only got your regular blaster and single player.
and the single
See,
player.
this one teaches you how to play the game a little better. It's as much as a story mode, it is a giant tutorial for multiplayer because that's where Splatoon shines is in its multiplayer.
Multiplayer,
It's
yeah.
fun, it's fast, everyone can do
Except
it.
for grinding on the rails. Which
Yeah,
you don't
yeah,
really use.
Yeah.
you got a skill that you learn in single player that you can't use in multiplayer. Why even put it in the game then?
Yeah, it's I don't know. That's how Splatoon. It's like
How fun would that have been? That have been a multiplayer though. Think
oh
about
yeah,
it.
you could on rails.
I think
all the
they
time.
did it because then there might have been some exploits or something where.
Oh yeah, sure.
Yeah, so they kind of just again they should have scrapped it on both ways, but maybe the level was already designed.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's probably
whatever.
what it is.
And like you said, it's just like first person shooters problems with single player anyways.
And another problem is that this was the same problem as Splatoon 1. Whatever weapon you start the match with, you're stuck with it the whole match.
Yeah, you can't
So
switch.
what if you get into a group of people and everyone's using the same weapon? Well, you want a good variety.
Yeah, if everyone's using a paintbrush to roll,
You kind of only need one roller.
Yeah, and if you have 4 of them,
Yeah,
like,
you dumped your team.
Yeah.
But that's how Nintendo, and I guess speaking of other video game news, the Nintendo app for voice chat came
Yes,
out,
it came out.
and it's complete trash. Your phone has to be on the whole time, so the screen has to be on. Like, no, you can dim the screen, like turn off the screen.
Yeah.
But no, it has to be running. It drains the battery of your Joy-Con. It drains the battery of your phone. It's just a mess.
Nintendo, it's just you need to hire someone that knows internet and knows how to make things, for internet, because that's horrible.
So,
Destiny.
Destiny 2.
I played the Destiny 2 beta today, about an hour ago, and if you were to have told me this is the new expansion for Destiny 1, I'd believe you, because it didn't feel like a sequel.
Nah.
It doesn't. The graphics are a little bit better than the sound. I don't think the sounds are better. Like when you get that when your guns, when you shoot, every gun has its own kind of way it feels, but that's
the
just sound
noise,
design. I mean, it's
yeah.
nothing huge. Your supers charge really slow.
Yeah, really slow. Oof.
It just felt okay. I played the single player mission, I played the strike, and I played both multiplayer maps. I only did each thing one time, and I don't feel compelled to go back and do it again.
Yeah,
I don't. I'm sorry.
Well-
I read online, Joshua. I don't know why does this irritate me, but it irritates me. I'm on the Destiny Reddit. I'm not gonna name people's names, but I'm reading through the thing. Oh, I played the strike 36 times now. 36 times?
Nah.
You're a liar or you're an idiot. Which one of these two people do you want to be?
Well, the thing is,
Yeah,
I can understand
definitely.
you doing the multiplayer because that's different players, different things. Yeah, that's fun. But the story, the strike's gonna be
36 times. My goodness, is when you turn on Destiny and you see the logo, is that what gives you life? Is that you
Or-
live for this game?
Or is like your console a Destiny console?
Or you're the guy, I gotta find every secret and I gotta be the first one on YouTube to talk about it.
Yeah.
No one cares.
It's all bad. It's all bad. Either what it is.
What's the biggest problem in Destiny? No content and having to do the same
Yeah.
things over and over again. This guy did the same thing over and over again, dude, that
They
36
love it.
times.
It's a grind.
Oh my!
man.
Why am I so angry? It just angers me that you're loving mediocrity. You're
At the-
loving the same crap over and over and over again.
At the most, you play it once to get the field. Second, okay, you want to do it. Maybe you want to do a review.
Explore.
Explore 2-3 times max.
Yeah.
Dozens?
The dozens?
Yeah.
No, that's ridiculous.
And then you have the White Knighters who say it's the greatest thing ever made.
Oh yeah. yeah.
This Green Earth was created for Destiny 2 to be put upon it.
And Bungie's
then you have the
great.
people that hate everything about it. I'm lukewarm on it. I'm waiting until a collection. But after the first 2 DLCs come out, they'll probably be like a master collection for
Yeah,
$40.
exactly.
I'll probably get into Destiny 2 then.
You know what? My experience with it, the story mode, I thought it was okay. The beginning part of the game, it was cool that you interacted with the actual champions of the.
Problem, I'm the Guardian, did all these great amazing things. I'm not going to say diddly.
All right, well,
Silent protagonist.
But you know what though? I'm hoping because I thought about that too. I'm like, he's not saying anything. I'm hoping that's because they're going to wait for you to choose a voice. Now, if they did that, then that would make sense. But if they don't and you don't say anything,
Power's all destroyed. Lost a traveler. Lost my light. I have nothing to say about
yeah,
this.
I'm not going to be like at least like say something like grab my ghost and be like,
When Master Chief is talkative compared to your main character,
Yes.
you got a problem.
Yeah.
I know they want to focus on the story. I love that when Amanda Holiday picks you up and she's
Exactly.
like, "Oh, come on, big guy, do something." Like Amanda Holiday is my favorite character,
or like-
side character in the game. I
or
love her.
freaking when Zaval's like, come to my shield and he beams it up and it's like, oh, it's so cool.
I don't know if
On you, Captain. Say something. Say something.
Yes.
I'm not saying Amanda Honey is, but she sounds like the same voice actress that plays Applejack.
Yeah,
She
she
has
has, I love that
Yeah,
southern.
sure.
I love that southern draw. That because I'll take care of y'all. So I love that
and-
character.
And the funny thing is that I love the fact that she says what's on all our minds. And she's like, "Hey, big guy, do something! Like, come on, traveler." or-
the Traveler was really just a giant Samus in a morph ball. That's what it is.
Exactly, and
She's
do
just like,
something. You're just looking up like, okay, you're gonna get captured. Do save something?
And it again, I don't want to drop $60 on this. I
No.
really don't
Yeah.
want to drop $60 on this.
I'd say wait and see if like I said, they added some new things.
Probably next year when we'll probably
Yeah,
get
whenever the 2 DLCs come out, and then they'll do the collection like before it was the House of Wolves and the Dark Below.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think
So
that-
and then there was a collection, and then there was the 2 other
Taking
things, and then
King.
the mega
I
collection.
want to say the 2 new ones are going to be. I think it said Osiris and something else.
Yeah,
Or-
probably something Vex related.
Yeah,
to that.
Vex related. Yeah. So yeah, and like I said, my story of it, I did like that part. I love because I played the Titan. My Titan's my favorite character to
The
play.
special ability.
Yeah, the special ability for the barricade, very nice. I liked it in multiplayer. It was great. But because I got to be that defensive Titan thing without having a bubble shield.
Yeah, so you can shoot. See, if you do there's like a small half wall.
Yes.
So you can shoot over it. Then they have a one big wall that's just like it's like a part of a bubble shield.
Yeah, and it's like boom, and it blocks. I love the half barricade one because you can shoot over it and automatically reloads your weapon, so it makes the Titan kind of like this turret that just sits there. And I love that. I mean, it made the Titan defensive. It made it like a good reason to play in multiplayer, especially in the bomb one, because you can have one Titan defend.
And
that
there's
spot.
synergy with the Warlock and Titan because the Warlock can throw down his or her, any of the whatever Warlock you play.
Yes.
They have like a power pull
Yes.
that goes on the ground that makes you reload faster and shoot faster. You put a barricade plus the pull, you have synergy there, and then you have the hunter just doing his little dance in the background.
Exactly.
There's no synergy with whatever the two
Yeah.
classes they have now. There's no synergy.
I would say with the hunter, their best bet is to go out there and cause chaos.
Yeah, be to go behind enemy lines because it's cool that you can empty your gun, do a dodge, and your gun's reloaded again.
Yes.
That's a good thing when you're playing like versus players. But the bad thing is they treat you getting a heavy ammo as the same
Yeah.
as you do in the story mode. That's messed up,
That's
guys.
the whole thing where they balance PvP and PvE exactly the same.
Yeah.
I actually have a clip where I was playing the gunslinger because I didn't really like the Arc Strider. I never liked the Blade Dancer, so I didn't Arc Strider. I played it a little bit. Like I'll go back to my golden gun. They gave you 6 shots now, so they're weaker. You know, and in this clip you'll see it. It's one of the sword guys, so they're not ultras, but they're a little bit stronger. I hit him with 3 golden gun shots from pretty close distance, and he didn't die. This is a normal backhand.
Yeah.
What the heck? 2.
That's
should've
terrible.
died.
3, because you even see my character looks away because I thought, oh, he's dead. I'm like, oh no, I have to come back and shoot him 3 more times, and he still didn't die.
Yeah.
Ridiculous. The golden gun literally it went to the thing and they neutered it. It's not nearly what it used to be.
And that should be, it's a golden gun. It's supposed to be literally a one-shot kill.
Yeah.
I mean, unless you have some crazy defense or
Yeah,
something.
yeah. If you're fighting against a boss, I get that.
Yeah.
One of the high ultra guys, but regular
They
guy.
can't even take out a red bar regular dude.
Yeah.
And,
Maybe because it's the beta, things do change, but that kind of like
and another problem I would say with the Titan was when you had the shield, you can only do one throw shield. That's it during your whole super.
oh. No, I bet you there's going to be augmented things that you can get, and but just the beta.
Because I checked the bottom skills. Oh, you get an extra throw, but I'm like, well, I can only throw it twice. Like, come on! Like, I wanted to be like, boom, boom, like, boom.
Jump in the, remember in Ninja Gaiden, Shinobi 3, jump in the air and you throw like 50
That's you're
shields.
talking about
Yeah.
during your super, right?
Yeah.
Well, I think the reason why is when you had the hammer throw, you could throw it as many times as you want. Maybe they want to limit
Yeah, it
it.
was like 6 or 7 throws.
Yeah.
But I mean, come on, at least like maybe 3 before it runs out, or make it like expend a lot of your,
Well, it bounces off enemies too, right?
Yeah.
So like maybe you can get more bounces, and they'll figure out a way. But I literally, I've walked away from this beta unimpressed. I'm just unimpressed. I'm sorry, I just am.
Yeah, and like I said, multiplayer was fun, but I can do multiplayer in other games.
And me and my brothers here played Destiny.
Yeah,
to
2,000
death.
plus hours on my
Yeah,
account.
easy.
Yes.
But it doesn't matter. We're not interested. I haven't downloaded it yet, and I don't know if I want to from the way these guys are talking. I don't know.
I mean, give it a shot because I if something's free and it's a downloadable thing, I don't want to be the kind of jerk who didn't at least give a video game a chance.
Yeah.
I gave it a chance, was unimpressed. I am not buying this day one.
Yeah, and that's what I feel about it too. It's just it sucks because we like Destiny a lot, but it's just they made some really silly choices.
And the whole not 60 frames per second. I know I harp on that, but I'm sorry, it's a pet peeve of mine.
Yeah, so that pretty much wraps up video games, I believe. I think we.
I think that's pretty
yeah.
much.
So we're gonna kind of try switch over to movies, and so we got some trailers. There was the new Inhumans trailer. I don't. Did you check it out?
No, I
Me
did
and N15 PC checked it out, and it looks fine.
Looks
I'll
alright.
definitely check it out. The only thing is, this is for the IMAX release, so like the graphics and the cinematography is super good. Then it's like when it goes back to TV, we're not gonna get it because there's like a slow motion rain scene and it looked really really cool. It's like we're not gonna get that in the TV series.
Well, no, it's gonna be like you're gonna see their base, and then they're gonna be off their base, and then they'll go back again because they can't afford it.
They can't afford the CGI on it, but it looks.
They're
fun
gonna
enough.
Supergirl when they left the cave from season 1 was a PBS, and when the CW were in their big building. Yeah, we're not going back to the cave. We can't afford it.
Which I think is going to happen, but the story's good. I like Black Bolt. He's a cool character. I
yeah.
like the super powerful character. I like him. They shot off some of Medusa's moves, like her hair. And it looks good. It didn't look stupid or janky. It's pretty cool. So I'm looking forward to it. Looks good.
Yeah, exactly. I agree with you on there.
Again, they also showed off some stuff for Gifted. Now I remember the name of it.
Gifted.
That's the mutant one. And they showed off some of the characters and stuff. It looks okay. I think Inhumans looks more interesting to me
Yeah, I think
than Gifted does, even though I love the X-Men, and the Gifted just looks okay.
Yeah.
The other thing I have to say, even though, don't get me wrong, and this isn't a knock on Fox and I think besides that before they've been knocking out with Marvel, especially with the mutants and all that, is that it seems like even though they're in the same world, like their movie characters aren't connected to these characters. As for like on the MCU side, they are connected. It seems like it seems more of a synergy. Like I know we've said that word already before, but that kind of
it works
together. Yeah, it's
exactly.
screaming. And I don't think Fox doesn't feel that way, even though they are. It just doesn't seem like that.
Like we were saying about Spider-Man, like how you had Captain America in those videos. Like, why can't we have something with those X-Men characters talking about, oh, there was an attack or some mutants broken into this thing? And
there's a school in upstate New York that will take us in. Something. Let's look at some more of that. I know they mentioned Magneto and they mentioned the Brotherhood of Mutants, but I want to see it too.
Yes.
Yeah, a little bit. Come on, you just give me a second. Give me 5 seconds. That's all I'm asking.
Yeah.
So that's another TV news. You saw? I didn't see it, but you saw some more stuff from Star Trek Discovery.
Yes, I did.
And you showed me some of the pictures. The Klingons do not look like Klingons.
No, they don't.
In any way, shape, or form, they do not look like Klingons.
I'm so hoping it's a mutation. They're like a separatist or something.
Yeah, like they separated from the other Klingons and they're more aggressive and they don't like the Federation do something. Because if they make the Klingons look the way they do, they look too sci-fi-y. They look like enemies from Stargate.
Yeah, they look cyborgish.
Yeah, almost. It's super weird. I don't like the way it looks. They shot off some of the ships.
Yeah, the
Are these junkers?
Yeah,
Did they build these in a space trash?
Especially the Klingon ship. It has no, like...
The ships look better in Mission Space Theater, okay?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I have to agree.
They look so bad.
And then, and like I said, the concept art of that monster you showed me, like that on that planet.
It doesn't look like Star Trek. It looks like Star Wars.
Yeah.
I see
This is gonna be like, when she's on. Remember when they're both on the captain and the first officer, on that planet, and then you see it real quick and they get beamed out. If it's something like that, fine. But if that becomes like a main bad guy or like some kind of like, that's not Star Trek.
See, because Star Trek, they would go on adventures, but the enemies were never like animals. They were always like other species that were sentient.
Other aliens.
Yeah, they could talk to, and there was back and forth. And
there might even be a cloud sometimes. That was a sentient cloud.
But not just like, let's go eradicate this monster. That's not Star Trek.
No,
it's just so weird.
Yeah.
And the funny thing is, I guess it was at Comic-Con, but it wasn't at Comic-Con.
No, it was at a museum like 3 blocks away from it.
What?
Well, at least the Discovery part as well, because probably couldn't afford it. It's probably cheaper to rent out an art museum.
And also at the same time, if you can't even get Star Trek on a Comic-Con floor, how does Paramount or CBS Paramount think about
this? Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. Not good. It's not good.
It can't be good if they're willing to say, you know what, guys, let's do it 3 blocks away.
But they have other Star Trek things on the floor, so that makes it even look worse. I mean, it's like, what's going on?
It's almost like they're ashamed of it. Like, put it in the museum.
My hand's floating above the red alert button. It was on the yellow button last time. Now it's like I'm massaging the outer ring of it.
Again, another designs I saw, the ship Discovery, nothing exciting about it. Boring, bland, dark, danky. That's not Star Trek, especially in the era they're in. Like, I don't want to harp on that, but in 2250, it's supposed to more look like Kirk's time now.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Bright, colorful, more.
Beats
and bloops. It's supposed to look like that, not what they have. That looks like Archer's time. That doesn't look like their time. It doesn't look like Kirk's timeline. It just doesn't.
Yeah.
And in other movie, might be a TV show, might be a movie, don't know what it is, but I guess Tom McFarlane posted on his Facebook page for tomorrow, so we'll probably do a mini video tomorrow because we love Spawn. So we're going to hear something about Spawn. Is it a TV series? Is it a movie? Is it a new animated series? We don't know, but we're going to know something.
He said it's going to be a movie, but that's all he said.
An animated movie?
We don't know.
There's so many questions.
Yeah, and Spawn's...
He showed a cardboard box.
It's almost like, what are you, a bum asking for change? The funny thing is, because my N50PC actually met...
I met him twice.
And he's like, we got the Spawn series is coming out soon, and that was like 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Oh, the anime series. He actually had a trailer in San Diego Comic-Con of all places in 2006 for it, and then nothing came of it because there's so many legal rights between I think HBO and I think maybe Showtime, and they're fighting over it, and it's just a big mess.
Yeah.
To show it.
I believe from what I understood, the original concept, they wanted to go low budget. Make it kind of like, because there's 2 characters in the Spawn world called Sam and Twitch, and they're cops.
They're detectives.
They're detectives, and Sam is he's not a dirty cop, he's just a lazy cop, but he's a good man.
He's a brute kind of guy, but he's a good.
But he's not gonna plant drugs on a guy. No. He's not gonna beat up an innocent person. You may think he looks that way from his exterior, but he's actually a good person. Yeah. And then Twitch is like that straight lace.
Oh, he's a cop. Arrow,
he can recite the police code, ARS codes from top to bottom.
Yes.
And they start hearing about these murders in these areas, and like, okay, they're just Who cares? Gangsters killing gangsters. But then they start saying, no, these people are being hung up with chains and their jays are getting ripped apart. Like, is it a wild
flesh
animal?
ripped off.
So from their perspective, they don't know anything about the hell spawns and magic and all these things. They're just regular cops that are in this world trying to figure out, oh, maybe it's a serial killer.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then Spawn is the boogeyman in this world.
Yeah, the
there's,
Phantom.
There's whispers on the street that there's a man who carries chains and has a big red cape and he's punishing
And he's
people.
got some claws and some green eyes, and that's it.
And then you're taking a police report and you're like, oh, okay, and what drugs have you been using?
Yeah, well, because there's people on the street, which are the homeless people, and it's like, okay, yeah, sure.
But Twitch starts to piece it together.
Yeah,
Yes.
he does.
And then he starts to get a little too close. I don't want to go watch the anime series.
Yes.
It's amazing.
And-
I actually have mine signed by McFarlane. I have a picture of it too for proof. I could post in this video.
I would love that low budget style.
yeah.
I think it would fit it better.
New Line Cinema, I'm there, man. It's perfect.
Yeah, and also what's great about it too is that it adds more mystery to the fact that you find, because like I said, they do the more digging into it. It's like these guys are dying, are murderers and bad people. So it's like, what's going on here?
Yeah,
Like,
this isn't just regular gang violence.
Yeah,
And the way these
no.
people are being killed is almost like sacrificial. Like, so
yeah.
what's going on
There's
here?
a cult, and then like you said, it brings the intrigue of the two detectives of like, what the freak's going on?
And I just love how Sam gives Twitch a bunch of crap all the time, but he cares about the guy.
Oh, yeah.
So
Yeah.
but I want to talk about it, but I want to be spoiler free.
Yes.
But there's scenes where you see Sam actually like, whoa, he's actually a really good cop.
Yeah.
He's not just that lazy guy. When we're gonna get lunch break?
I think besides Spawn, because he's my favorite character of Image, McFarlane, I think he's a genius for making the character. I can see Sam and Twitch in a standalone series, just by themselves. I love those detectives. I love that dynamic of those two.
And they could be in any universe. They could be in DC,
That's what I
Marvel.
said.
and
They're
they
cool,
could
they're
be-
cool cop.
They
It's
would
a
make-
cool cop drama, and I hope they go that route. But
Don't go big budget.
If they go super big budget, then it's gonna be a Spawn movie. Especially, there was a Spawn movie that came out
Oh, I don't
years
wanna
ago,
talk about it.
and
It's
it's mediocre.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's
it's
very
terrible.
mediocre. It's not like, oh my goodness, the worst thing ever, but it's definitely not good.
Yeah,
but
and-
this is back in the day when comic book movies there was no connecting universes, there was
No.
no
Yeah.
big time writers doing these things. But hope tomorrow we'll find out.
Yeah.
At 2:00, it's going to be on Facebook. So
Yeah, he'll do a
it's live.
post. So just just do Facebook Todd McFarlane, and you'll run into it.
Yeah.
And I hope it's, like you said, like a TV series or a movie, because there's always, with Spawn and with Tom McFarlane, there's always been this, like, mystery. Because even, like, he was even talking with Dave Boone, who does Mortal Kombat, because people were kind of hyped to have Spawn in the Mortal Kombat world. And then that kind of fell through because even Boone was talking about it. He's like, oh, what character do you want? And it had like all these characters that had Spawn.
Spawn Violator. Those are there's a lot of cool characters in the Spawn world that lend themselves to cool action scenes.
Yes.
But they also lend themselves to cool monster in the closet, evil
Scary.
thing.
Yeah.
Because there's some nasty people in this world that have done terrible things.
yes, and
so like
Spawn,
there's like Violator and then the clown guy. Once you get to that part,
Even
Yeah.
the angels are even that.
yeah,
all
even the
right with
angels
it.
are pretty bad in this. So, like, and so it's cool. It's a cool world. It deserves to be told. People need to know about it. I think it's a great design. It's
Oh,
that gothic.
yes.
It's that 90s look, but it's timeless. It's still cool. It's like how Ghost Rider's cool. Spawn's
Yes.
cool. He's a cool
There-
looking guy.
There's another character named Jade in the series. When you look at her, she looks like Orchid from Killer Instinct. I
Yeah.
swear they probably got the idea from her.
Yeah.
for
very
that.
by the green
Yeah.
color. It's very
And
color,
much.
yeah.
And speaking about Spawn, the most iconic thing about him is that cape too.
Mm-hmm.
He has one of the best capes in comic book, whatever you want to say, history.
It's Batman, Superman, Spawn. They got the coolest capes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely. And the thing about
It's alive.
Spawn is, I just love Spawn in general. And I'll be honest with you, is the fact even though he got all this evil power, he's doing good with it.
Yes.
He has all this because again,
'Cause he
when
was a
you're-
soldier, he was a Marine.
Yeah, you have free will. Even though Mount Boja can whisper in his ear and haunt his dreams, which is terrible, and trick him, he can still fight it. He can still have the ability to overcome it.
Yes.
So that's cool. I'm hoping it's the low budget angle. I don't necessarily
too.
want a high budget thing. Or maybe it's a Netflix series. That'd be cool
That'd
too.
be- yeah.
Wow, if Netflix had watched that in a heartbeat,
Yeah,
I think it'd be great.
I'll definitely give it a shot. But we'll find out tomorrow.
Yep.
I mean,
Animated series would be the best outcome of that, but we'll see.
and then kind of staking in the cool directors kind of world, Guillermo del Toro has a new movie out called The Shape of Water, and I was thinking, oh cool, I'm gonna get scared. It's gonna be a cool, scary monster movie, and it's kind of like a friendship love movie.
Yeah, it's like a.
And only a way that Del Toro could do it.
Yes.
Basic setup. This looks like it's the 40s, 50s.
Probably. Yeah.
There's a lady who's a mute. She can't speak, so she can hear and do everything else. And she works at like a science lab. Looks like BioShock.
Yes.
If you know the aesthetics of BioShock. So she goes and mops and cleans up. But I guess there's like a sea creature that these people captured.
Yeah.
And then she kind of becomes friends with it. like because she can't speak, so she has to use like sign language and motions and hand gestures, and then he starts to understand, and they kind of become friends. And she feels all alone in this world. You could tell that she's isolated because she can't speak, and only very few people who know sign language and some of her close friends know her, but. And
we're talking about the 40s here, so that wasn't a common thing.
And she's kind of a mousy, little smaller woman, so she gets treated like crap. And then she kind of like finds a budding friendship with this sea creature.
Yes.
He looks like the Black Lagoon.
Yeah, but like the sleeker version, the Y2K version of the creature.
The one that works out a little bit, gets sleek. Yeah. But yeah, it was
cool.
cute. It was really cute. I liked it because, like I said, it didn't have too much scare. Like the monster didn't pop out and scare her.
If you, like I said, the scary is going to be the humans. I guarantee.
Yeah, the main scientist people, they're jerks. And,
of course, in the trailer, they're like, "Oh, we should cut him up and see how he ticks."
If you would dial it 2 meters to the humor side, you would think there's a Tim Burton movie.
Yeah.
It hasn't make it. If it was a little bit funnier, it would have that making.
But it's a delightful surprise.
Yeah, and what I loved about it is that like they're trying to interact with each other, and he can't really talk because he can only probably have gills and stuff.
Probably sounds and
so it was like this cute little thing, and they play music together, and they like it.
But I always like the Turtles
he eats
designs.
his lunch, and she's eating her lunch like on a little date, in a weird way.
But I always liked the Turtles designs. I think he's a master of that. His designs are so good, he almost made me go see Hellboy too because of his designs. I hate Hellboy, and wanted me to go see because I just love his character designs.
He does very good with his costumes.
Yeah,
they're always great. He always uses
practical
as
effects,
little
special.
CGI as he can.
Yeah.
I know there's some underwater scenes in this movie that are obviously CGI, but the creature is a man in a suit, which is cool.
Yeah. I like that aesthetic. I like that you can feel it. It's tactile.
We would all, I believe, I speak for all of us, we would all recommend Pan's Labyrinth.
Oh, excellent.
That's another Del Toro film. It's, again, excellent. I don't want to give the plot away, but it's a great film. Just watch it. It's great.
I went to go see it in the theater. I was a little shocked at first it was subtitle, but I was fine. I rolled
Oh, yeah, it was great.
It was great.
And like you said, and also the creature in the movie, I love the fact that because it's real, he seems slimy.
Yeah,
I like that.
how you would think a sea merman thing would be, like he has spines and his...
Yeah, and I like the contrast. I mean, I don't know if the trailer had it in the front, but I love how he's like this kind of bluish, and then she wears like that red dress. So
it kind of has that. Nothing was done by mistake. When he does stuff like that with colors, he does it for a very specific reason, and I think he's one of the best at doing that. So this could be kind of a film I might want to check out. It's a Fox Spotlight, so it's not it's kind of like on their independent label. But I thought they did a great job.
Oh yeah,
the shape of water. Which is funny because water doesn't have a shape.
Yeah,
maybe that's the point. Maybe it's the meaning is a meaning thing.
It's so that's cool. I thought that was a pretty cool movie trailer. And speaking of other movie trailers, we also checked out the Leatherface film.
Oh yeah,
and we're going back to scary. We covered Chucky Child's Play, but it's Chucky now. Anyways, so this is a prequel. So how about Leatherface became Leatherface? So kind of his weird, crazy family, and they're cannibals, and when you're giving your kid a chainsaw for like his 10th birthday, he's a little kid. Yeah, this family's weird. This is a Red Band trailer, so I'm not going to show any footage.
Yes.
Because there's blood, there's guts, there's cussing, there's all the things that Leatherface does.
Exactly, and it was creepy, and like there's one scene where he's like, "Oh, go pick one out," and I'm like thinking like it's not like a present. He's picking out a face to put on.
Or something like that. It's not. He's not picking out. Okay, I want to have lettuce, tomato on my sandwich. No, he's a crazy person.
Picking out like, oh, this is a leg, an arm, and a head.
It's always just the thing with me though in these kind of movies, especially like Leatherface, when they enter like the barn or like the house, and you see all these creepy, demented things on the wall, animals, and it looks all dirty and grungy. Why don't you just run out of there? Why would you just take off? Okay, I'm out of here.
But you're on a farm in the middle of nowhere, Texas. Where are you going to run to? They're going to just chase you down.
And the problem is, and what makes it really bad about this one, it takes place in the 60s. There's no cell phones. There's none of that.
Yeah.
There's no way to get a hold of anybody.
And the cops look like bad guys too.
Yeah, they're like part of it too.
Well, and a lot of the
sheriff is like going after them, right?
Yeah, and a lot of the Leatherface movies. There's a sheriff that's usually part of the cannibal family.
Yeah.
And he kills the people. He arrests them and sends them to Leatherface.
Yeah, he'll brings them their livestock.
Yeah. And then, of course, there's the classic scene in the trailer where he's like, looks like he's like 17, like not fully Leatherface, but he's chasing this girl.
And the girl's running through the forest and you hear the chainsaw. It's that classic.
It's like,
so if you love blood and guts,
yeah,
it's the movie for you.
And just bad situations.
And we're kind of having a resurgence of scary movies.
Yes, we are.
Because with the new Chucky Child's Play film, looks like it's going back to the roots of being just a scary film.
Yeah.
And this Leatherface thing looks like it's going to be just a scary film. Because there's always like a weird tinge of comedy in the Texas Chainsaw Massacre film, especially like 2, 3. There was always like a weird dark
Yeah.
humor.
I think they
about
want
it.
to do it to have relief to some tension from this because it's so raw. They have to, let's put this comedy to kind of give some comic relief to get you out of that.
Yeah,
But this
'cause-
one's has none of that.
Yeah,
it looks
no,
like.
from this trailer, it looks like just like how the new Chucky movie looks like there's going to be very little to no comedy. It's going to be thriller, scary stuff. And this
Yeah.
looks like it's going to be the same kind of situation.
Yep.
Very light on the comedy and the dark humor. It's going to be mostly visceral, scary stuff.
Yeah, and more disturbing, because like you said, like when they sat down as a family, it's like this really disturbing kind
Yeah,
of
here's
thing.
your pull out your candles. Here's your present. Yay! Like this is normal. No, this isn't normal.
No, this is
Everyone
not-
needs to die. Can we all just kill each other?
Exactly. Can they just
None
light
of
the
these
house
people
on
deserve
fire?
to live. They're monsters.
Yeah, it just So it looks like good. Like I said, if you're a gory fan, you're gonna love it. It's right up your alley.
I would have to agree with that. It will be right up your alley if you like that
Yeah.
kind of thing.
Yeah.
But so that's kind of cool that we're starting to get some more of these kind of good scary movies instead of
Getting
just like
back
the,
to the roots.
instead of like the silly
Yeah.
PG-13, scary movies you got in the 2000s.
Yeah.
So like we're kind of getting back to
Yeah.
these are rated R films. They're not for kids. They're for adults. Don't show your kids these movies. You're a bad
Exactly.
parent.
Yeah,
Yeah,
if
exactly.
you do that. And the thing is, and another person that said this, that does this for a living, James, was mentioning how, like, that era was the Bronze Age. But yeah, there isn't a real age for these new horror movies now today. And you notice we keep going back to, Leatherface, Chucky, because those have the resonance.
And we're not in this, everything is perfect. I don't remember the name of the trailer, but I showed you this other trailer where they're like, it's this lady and she's crazy and there's like emojis on the screen the whole time. I'll look for the name of it. What's it called?
Oh.
Ingrid or something?
yeah, Ingrid, it was
Yeah.
It
terrible.
looks so stupid. Is this a scary movie? Is this a funny movie? Is this... I don't know what because again, it kind of played in the beginning. You think, oh, this is a scary, she's a serial killer.
Yeah.
No, she just kind of sprayed a lady in the face with mace at her wedding, and then she gets tackled, and she meets another crazy guy, but he's like a loony kind of Kevin Federline crazy. It's just so stupid.
It's like if you took Ghost World and Trainspotting and put the worst elements of both films
It
into
made it
that.
into one solid movie.
Yeah, that's
So
what
it's
it
just
is.
bad parts after bad,
Bad parts. Nothing funny, nothing interesting. It's
Nothing
just bad.
cool.
So I don't know if that even classifies as a scary movie because it started out like a scary movie.
Yeah.
Because this lady talking about how great her wedding's going to be, and the other girl's like in tears and everything. I'm like, oh my goodness, she's going to go kill this girl. But I don't know. But so we haven't escaped terrible scary movies.
No, we haven't either.
We still have them. But I'm glad to see Leatherface is going to be a Texas Chainsaw film first, then some kind of wacky comedy or whatever.
Yeah.
If it is
exactly.
ever going to be that at all in this
And,
movie.
and what I like too about like Del Toro's movie, yeah, it has a monster in it, but I also like the difference of like, okay, he's not this misunderstood monster, kind of like the classic horror monsters.
Yeah, the
where-
Frankenstein.
Frankenstein, yeah.
Or maybe the Toro one says I could do different kind of scary movies or interesting movies with monsters in it. It doesn't necessarily have to be super scary. It doesn't
Yeah.
have to be, where he's a bad guy.
And in other comic book movie news, I guess they were talking to Mark Ruffalo, who plays Bruce Banner, the Hulk in the movies. He said there will never be a standalone Hulk movie, which I guess is fine.
Yeah, I'm good with that.
I mean, the fact he's in Thor is awesome.
Yeah, that's enough that he's in he's in the Marvel universe and he does things and he doesn't have his own film. That's fine.
yeah.
When we got our 3 from the other one,
Yeah.
just leave it at that. That's
So
all
I'm not
say.
gonna. I don't have any more elaboration on that. It's
No.
just something that
Yeah.
came
I
up,
understand.
and I understand it. But I'm gonna end our movie talk the one with probably it's not necessarily nerdy, but it's in the nerd pop culture world. If you've seen the movie called The Room,
Oh my goodness.
it is literally probably top 5 worst movies ever created.
Yeah.
If you want to take it to decades and like eras, and you want to take this in the 2000 eras, it's probably the worst movie ever made from that era. Because there's like movies like Plan 9 from
Outer Space.
from Outer Space,
Manos, Hands
The
of
Manos,
Fate.
Hands of Fate, but those are like kind of older, crappy movies. This didn't have any reason to be bad except for the man who made it. It's so funny because the actor, director, producer, financer, Tommy Wiseau is just a strange man.
Yes.
He has an accent you can't pin down. Is he Romanian? Is he French? Is he? No one knows where this guy came from. He's like an alien who caught a bunch of radio signals and created a human. And it's this man who made a movie called The Room, and it was supposed to be kind of like this drama film about this guy and his life's on the thing, and his girlfriend's cheating on him, and it's supposed to be like this big emotional film,
Yeah.
and it's just a complete utter mess.
Guy cannot act one bit.
I
It's
discovered
terrible.
this. I discovered this film by watching a Nostalgia Critic video up on it. I always kind of was aware of it, but I didn't even know what it was about. And I watched it, I'm like, oh, this movie's so terrible. Then I watched the Riff Tracks version of it, and it's just so funny because it's so easy to make fun of. Because the voice act, the way
Yes.
he speaks is terrible. The dialogue is so bad. If you were just to read the script out loud, you'd be like, okay, you said the same thing 4 times in a row. You don't need to keep saying the same thing four times in a row.
And
It's terrible.
And the speaking between his friends is like unrealistic. Because like have a conversation. Literally, one of the scenes is where he's like, "Oh, I just made a big deal with this banker guy," and he's like, "Oh, cool, tell me about it." "I can't tell you that. That's confidential." Then literally like 2 seconds pass. "So how's your sex life?" Like who does that? Who would
That's
do
so
that?
weird.
If you weren't going
Yeah.
to talk about the bank deal, don't write it into the script.
Yeah.
There's like real life where this came up and you had to deal with it. No, you making the world. You invent the words. You don't have to say things that don't need to.
Exactly.
At one point, they point out too, like when they're wearing all the tuxes. Oh, you think you're going to a wedding? No, they're not even going to a wedding.
Yeah, there's a scene where they're playing football wearing tuxedos. I think there must have been missing footage or a scene that never got put into the film because why are they wearing tuxedos? And the next scene they're not wearing tuxedos, and it's just
And the guy they asked him originally says, "I wanted it to look nice" or something.
yeah, he thought it was like fancy or something. This
Yeah.
guy is crazy. If you just look up Tommy Wiseau, he's done interviews and stuff. He's a crazy dude.
Yeah,
That's funny.
And well, the reason why I'm bringing up any of this is the co-actor in the film. He plays the character named Mark in the film, and him and Tommy Wiseau were best friends, kinda in college. And they went to film school together, and then he's like, hey, they were roommates, and he's like, yeah, this crazy guy has some money, he wants to make a movie. Well, we're in film school, let's make this movie. And he had enough money to make a real film, and then it was almost like it was a mystery where he got this money from. And he would never, and then Tommy Wiseau would never talk about it. He would never say where you got the money. It's like, was it drugs? Was it because he was a hitman? Who knows where you got this money?
That's weird.
And Tommy Wiseau, of course, since it's his money, he has to be the main actor in it.
yes.
The guy who plays Mark isn't a bad actor. He could be like in a soap opera.
Yeah.
He's not like, Hollywood actor, but he could be a decent actor in a regular sitcom type thing. So Tommy has to be the main character, and he can't remember his lines. He has this funny, crazy accent. He would change lines, like he would ad-lib things. He would rewrite scenes the day of. And the guy who played Mark in the film, wrote a book called The Disaster Artist.
Yeah.
And this is the movie about that book, about that movie. So it's kind of like it's like a biopic in a weird way, like in a bad way.
And it really, not a very interesting.
And you watch the trailer and it's
Tommy
yeah.
Franco.
Yeah. And he plays it. He has the hair and
The actor's
the crazy
perfect.
accent,
Oh, yes.
and it shows you one of the
That's so
most
funny.
infamous scenes is he's on the rooftop, and there's a lot of CGI in the film. Like all the backdrops are CGI in the actual the room film. So that's why when they're on the roof, there's no wind.
Yeah.
There would be so much wind, it'd be ridiculous. But so you see him coming out of the room, and he's doing one of his famous lines about how his girlfriend accused him of hitting her, and then he's like saying, "Oh yeah, I didn't hit her, I didn't do this." And he can't get the lines right. 70 takes later, he finally gets it right, and it's as horrible and as terrible as it can be. But they're just so happy he remembered the lines, and they're like, "Yay!" They're like celebrating.
Like the joke in the trailer is that everyone on set knows the line.
But Tommy can't get it right.
It was so funny. And the next thing he says, "I hit her." He actually said he hit her.
He's like,
He walks up, I hit her.
no, you didn't hit her. You wrote the lines, you idiot. Could you not know?
Yes, and
That was great.
the bad thing about this movie is that he wrote it, and he wrote it as like he's just this wonderful guy that all this bad stuff happens to.
Yeah, and everyone's you're gonna be able to relate to this Tommy character. You're gonna feel for him. You're gonna think, and then again, I'm not gonna spoil the ending, but it's just as stupid as
Yes.
ridiculous as the rest of the film.
Man, believe me, it's not.
Yeah, you're not-
We're missing anything.
If watch the film, I'm pretty sure you can find it for free, but watch the film, then watch the Riff Tracks version of the film, and you will be laughing from beginning to end because it
Yeah.
is so ridiculous. And the Nostalgia Critic did like a review of the movie too, and it's also hilarious because it's just so bad. You can't imagine that someone put money into this. Someone thought this was good. Tommy thought he was making a good film.
Yes, he did.
He honestly thought this is going to be, an American movie classic.
Didn't he say that in the book I was seeing?
He said it was going to be the next American Graffiti.
Yeah.
Are you out of your damn mind? This movie's so bad. He's going to be the next American garbage.
Oh yeah.
The only reason anyone remembers it because now I can remember because of this movie they're
Yep.
doing now, and Riff Track's making fun of it.
Yeah.
That's why everyone remembers it.
It's literally one of the worst movies ever made.
Yeah.
Because movies that are this bad usually like stop production and then a movie never gets finished.
But it's his money though.
It's his money, and he kept pushing it. And you could tell that his friend, it feels bad for him because he wants him to like be a good actor, but he knows he's not a good actor. It's like,
Sucks.
just act like a human being. You can't act like a human. You know that deadpan deliveries, everything he says, and
Oh yeah, and then the
Lisa,
whole,
you're so sexy.
yeah, and then you have like, what are you, a chicken? And then he
Oh,
goes cheep cheep cheep,
He can't even make a fake chicken noise.
which
This
is like,
guy's,
like, I couldn't even
you
do
say
that.
bark 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 bark. No, he's saying cheep cheep cheep. What? Have you never seen an
It's
animal?
odd.
Yes,
It's odd.
and then and even when his comebacks, I think I know more than you think, Mark.
And then there's random characters
Yeah.
that just come into the situation, like his other banker friend that you only see in one scene,
Yeah, and
and then he's gone. You never
Yeah.
see him again. Like, what was that guy? And there's like we didn't even mention there's like a kid that
Yes,
hangs
like a
out with
special
Tommy and his
needs
girlfriend,
kid.
and he's like a special needs kid. It's never said in the film that he's special needs. Like he has Asperger's or something.
Yes.
But they never say it in the film. But I remember reading interviews with Tommy Wiseau. He's like, oh yeah, that he was supposed to be like a special needs child that Tommy was taking care of.
Yes,
Or Johnny. His name is Johnny in the film, but his real name is Tommy. He had to pick a name that was super similar to his own.
Yes,
Tommy, Johnny,
Yeah,
get
and it's super weird because there's lots of scenes with Tommy and his girlfriend like making out, and this kid is like hanging out in the room while they're like making out.
yeah.
You're like 15. You needed like
there's-
this ain't no
Yeah.
peep show.
There's even a
Exactly.
scene where the kid comes over and he's like, "I just wanted to see you," which is his girlfriend, and then he's like, "Oh, before they can I have a kiss?" Like this is getting creepy here.
And wasn't it like 4 times in the movie where like she's cheating on him,
Yeah.
or trying to, and she gets tried to get talked out of by like his mom?
yeah,
Yeah.
Like,
And the mom
it
has
happened
cancer?
Yeah, and it had four times the same conversation. Okay, we don't need to see this anymore.
yeah.
I don't love him anymore, mother. And then she's like, well, you have to be, truthful to your husband. And it's just,
Yeah.
and it's like the scene to scene, it's just a disjointed mess of a film.
Yes.
And it's just funny to see. This film isn't a comedy. It is literally what happened on set.
Yeah.
So you're laughing with like, oh my goodness.
It's like watching a movie, but nothing but the outtakes.
Yeah, like all the flubs ups.
Yeah, all the
the
flub-ups.
B-roll.
Yeah.
It must be funny for like an actor as good as
To do it on
Franco
that.
to do it so bad, to be so horrible at something. That must be funny.
And not be able to laugh and not to be like, oh my gosh, this guy's a moron.
So I just found that trailer just like a couple days ago, and I just thought, oh, I have to talk about that.
I'm hoping I want to see this movie. If we
Because
could- I
it's
wanna
not
see it.
necessarily something that's nerdy or something. It's just so bad, it falls in the category with just terrible
But
films.
since it's been Rip Tracks, that
Yeah.
kind of falls into that a little bit.
We love the Mitch Science Theater guys.
Oh,
All
yeah.
the
They're
Mike,
actually in
Joel.
town tonight.
Yeah, they're in town. We couldn't afford tickets. They're so expensive.
Yeah, they're in Phoenix.
They're like, what, 60, 70 bucks?
Yeah, they
oh,
were,
man,
yeah.
of course we're all going to want to go and spend almost $300 on that. But anyways, they're great. They're so funny.
they are funny.
So you watch the Rip Tracks version of The Room, you will laugh and laugh because these guys, they just tear this movie
And
asunder.
you know what? We didn't even talk about the flower scene. The
Yeah,
flower shop.
there's a flower shop scene. It's
Oh.
probably, I think that's more infamous than the I didn't hit her scene.
Yes. Oh,
Because he's always buying gifts for his girlfriend.
yes.
And she's so sexy. Oh, I love you so much. Oh,
And
I'll
he-
buy you flowers. It's
And-
always that
yeah,
over and over
he's
again.
such a good guy. He buys flowers. Everyone in town loves him, and he's just like,
The bank, they steal my ideas.
yeah, exactly. Like you said, he's like supposed to be like this perfect.
Investment banker guy, right?
Yeah, and he's supposed to be like this perfect guy, but then the world just hates him. Like he just
Yeah, the world came down on him and ruined his life. No, Tommy, you ruined your life because you're a piece of garbage.
That's funny.
Oh man, I just had to bring up this
He's
this
just this hard
mockumentary.
guy. You feel bad for him because he's not a bad person. He's just an eccentric guy. He's just a weird person.
Yeah, he's just a weirdo.
And he
Like,
thought this was gonna work.
and almost in a weird, innocent kind of way, like a little kid.
Yeah, like that's why you can't get mad at him.
It's almost like you can't fault him because, like, oh, he's a 5-year-old in a man's body.
Even after when he got the lines right, even though he acted him horribly, they all hug him and said, "Hey." And when you watch this thing on
Yeah.
the movie making of it, because it's just they felt so bad for the guy,
Yeah.
Oh, I did. I can't believe I forgot this. I did catch a trailer for. I grew up in the '90s. I was a Nick kid, and the trailer for Rocko's Modern Life. They're bringing it back.
Nice.
And again, the trailer basically you see Heifer. What's the turtle guy's name? I'm nauseous.
No, I
I'm
know.
nauseous.
Is
Listen
it
to-
Sheldon?
It's something like that. In Rocco, they're like, "Oh, we're back," and then they're looking around the world, and it's like modern times. Like, I don't think we're in the '90s anymore, guys. And then like they go to buy a cell phone, and then Rocco's like, "Where are the buttons? Like, what kind of phone is this?" Like, it's all that
See,
kind of
that's
stuff.
kind
Yes.
of funny. A fish out of water.
And it's
that's
all.
kinda funny.
I don't know if they got the same exact voice actors, but they sound exactly like they
Yes.
did back in the '90s.
That's
And then you
cool.
got just Rocco at the vending thing. He's like, "Oh, this new world. It's a very dangerous place." Like he says like
Yes.
his lines.
Yeah, because wouldn't he always say that in the
Yeah,
show? He's
oh,
like,
Laundry
trash-
Day's a dangerous day.
Well,
Yeah.
didn't they say they were going to bring back a lot of these shows and give them a chance? So maybe this is part of that.
And
Nickelodeon.
Yeah.
part of that
Yeah.
'90s Nicktoons thing, they're
Yeah.
bringing back Hey Arnold for a movie.
Yes. to
And it's
finish it off.
okay, I may sound like, oh, I'm the biggest dork in the world. I love the old Nick cartoons. I love cartoons today, anyways. But
Me too.
the screwed up thing. Quick story about Hey Arnold, the creator, hit series on Nickelodeon. They're like, hey, we want a movie. He's like, oh, I kind of have this script that I want to put out there about Arnold finding his parents.
Yes, it'll be
They're like, oh
great.
no, we're gonna do this environmental episode. He's like, that's an episode, not a movie. And then they made him make the movie, the Hey Arnold movie. It sucked because it was just like a bad episode. Then he's like, you know what I'm doing? I'm going to write myself in a corner. They'll have to renew my season. Nickelodeon, boom, never got an ending.
Yep.
So now we're finally getting that ending.
And
It's a year later. The character's a little bit older. They redesigned the characters a little bit. I think they look good. They look great.
They look great, and it was such a sad moment, and fans really wanted it. I mean, I even looked it up. There was a petition sent to Nickelodeon, written like signed by like 5,000 people or something or more.
Give
saying,
Arnold an ending.
Yeah, we want to see the ending of Hey Arnold. And the writer even went on YouTube saying like, "Hey guys, like
I
thank
want
you."
it, but it's
Yeah.
Nintendo. No, Nintendo. What am I talking about? Nickelodeon.
Nickelodeon.
Well, I mean, if Samurai Jack can finally get a
Yeah.
right ending,
Yes.
why can't this get one? You
Yeah.
know?
And it's so great to hear the actual creator because it's not really a trailer. It's kind of like a behind the scenes, and it's the original creator. He's writing, directing, and doing everything for
It's
it.
done.
Yes.
So it is his project. It is his baby, and he can finally put it to sleep.
Yep, and it was so sad because the writers and the creator of the show even tried,
They basically begged.
Yeah, begged, and they even said like, why can't? This is a really funny story. Goes, why can't we do a story about Helga, her older and dealing with her girl problems, right? And then Nickelodeon said no, but what did they do? They made Ginger.
Yeah, which was pretty much all those ideas. It just took it out of from her world and put it into this other new girl's
Yeah, which
character.
was more of
So
a
it kind
shy,
of stole his
timid,
idea.
Yeah, the shy, timid girl compared to what Helga was.
Oh,
Which
and
was
then Nickelodeon did him wrong. It seems
Yeah,
like
they kind of did him raw.
Yeah.
But you know what they're making it right now, and that's cool.
Yes,
Yeah.
and finish it off. People really wanted this. I mean, like I said, left on the cliffhanger of his parents went missing when he was a kid. So he was raised by his grandparents, and he never knew what happened to his
And
parents.
they always told him his fantastical stories, like very
Yes.
Indiana Jones. Oh, your father was an adventurer, and your mom was helping the natives in some countries.
Yes.
And you think, oh, this is just a grandpa telling his grandson these grandiose stories. But I guess they were true.
Yeah, they were somewhat true, and because that's what happens.
He finds a journal.
Yeah, and it kind of explains what happens, and it was kind of sad for a moment because he's like, because there's a moment where he's telling Arnold this, and he's about like 10 or 12, and he's like, "Grandpa, stop lying to me."
Yeah, you're lying to me.
Yeah.
Tell me what really happened to my parents. And then grandpa feels like, he's like, well, no, these things really did
Yeah.
happen. So just for canonical, is that his son, the grandpa's son, or is it the grandpa's daughter? That's the connection.
No, it would be it's his son.
That's his son.
So yeah,
So Arnold's father is
is
the grandpa's
yes,
son.
grandpa's son.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, and of course, and I loved about that episode. There was little funny clips like Arnold is named after the mom's father that passed
Yeah.
away, and he's like, you couldn't name him Phil because his name is Phil. He's like,
Yeah.
He's like, oh, whatever, it's okay. And then and they left on this big cliffhanger because he found a map, and it's like, hey, Dad or
I
Grandpa.
found this journal with the map. This is what the last place my father
and the
was.
episode ends, and then they canceled it.
Yep, and that was a cancellation episode. Are you kidding me? So he literally left it open ended, and finally we're getting that open ended because I guess the setup of the movie is it's a year later. They're in 6th grade now,
Yes.
and they're taking a class trip there.
Yes.
And Arnold's like, "Oh, and there's my chance to try to find something about my dad." So there you go. We're gonna get some resolution, which is all we ever
Yeah,
wanted.
and I think what the story plot was like the school won a trip because they wrote an essay.
Yeah,
about
yeah, there's always some
South
whatever-
Africa.
Whatever you want to make up to make it happen, it just happened.
So yeah, that's great. I can't wait. For
So
that.
Nickelodeon's bringing back some. Again, we're talking about old stuff. Leatherface, old.
Yeah, because we're nostalgia kind of a little bit on that. I mean, we love the classic stuff. Oh, sorry, I was gonna say one more thing about Rocco is that I think the reason why we love him so much is because he's this lovable loser that has all these weird quirks, and even like in the Nickelodeon art book I got one time, it actually showed like art designs and ideas for him. And the funny thing is, they said one of the things they got the idea for Rocco was having a little Woody Allen in him.
Yeah, because he's that neurotic weirdo.
yeah.
This is not this is not a kid's cartoon.
No, it's not.
They're like, there's an episode where Rocco needs a job. So he's doing a bunch of odd jobs, right? He ends up working at a sex hotline. And it doesn't specifically say that's what it is, but if you look on the back wall, it says, "Oh, be sexy, be hot."
Yeah.
and he's on the phone. He's like, "Oh baby, oh baby." That's all he's saying. And then he's talking on the phone, and it's his neighbor.
Yeah.
It's like, "Rocco, is that you?" Oh, and he's saying on the phone.
Exactly.
This is not a kids show. This is not for little kids.
Yeah, and that's what I loved about him because it was weird because
It
like
came from that Ren and Stimpy era,
Yeah.
where you had dirty things in kids' cartoons.
Oh,
yes,
yeah, really
exactly. It was weird. It was funny.
Yeah,
It was
I'm
weird.
glad to
Beavis
see
and
it
Butthead,
back.
that
Yeah,
kind of-
I'm glad to see it come back. It's cool.
Yeah, so fun.
So, but there's going to be more news coming at Comic Con every day. Like we
Definitely.
said, we're going to get Spawn news. I'm just scanning some news stories here.
Bobby
we
Marvel
pretty much
Infinite.
covered. Yeah, we pretty much covered everything that we found important. There's other things I know people like Stranger Things. They're showing stuff for the bad. I never watched that show. I didn't know. So then Game of Thrones came back. I don't care.
Yeah.
So I think I'm pretty good. You guys think of anything else?
We talked about Spawn. We talked about
Star
Atari,
Trek,
which is
Atari.
important. Atari. I'm trying to think of anything else. I guess they showed a lot of the toys, but that's always every year.
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
statues and stuff. but,
Visionary
Oh, look, a
toys.
bunch of toys that I'll never be able to buy because I can't afford that kind of
Yeah,
stuff.
it's ridiculous how expensive it gets.
So I guess
It's
Hasbro's bringing
$20,000.
back a bunch of their old toy series.
Yeah, Visionaries.
Micronauts, Visionaries,
Mask.
all those kind of
Oh,
things.
cool.
Which I guess because they're supposed to be trying to make movies of these things. I don't know.
Well,
But they
everyone
haven't
wants to
announced
do the-
anything on the movie side of it.
Everyone wants to do the MCU thing. That's what they want, and they just can't. The properties aren't strong enough to do that.
So we still have lots of stuff. I guess there's Will Smith is in this new show called it's a Netflix show. It's called Bright, and it kind of reminds me of Shadowrun.
Oh yeah, that's
He's
what it
a
is.
cop in a regular world, but there's like ogres and elves and things like that, and but they're
It's a movie.
But like in the world of Shadowrun, it's like it's normal.
Yeah.
Like, oh, if you go to the club, the bouncer's an ogre because he's a big, strong guy.
Yeah.
And it's just accepted. It's not like, oh my god, it's an ogre. It's like, oh, cool, ogre guy.
Yeah.
And so you have things about racism and classism, and because, well, the humans should be more important than the elves, and the elves don't like the ogres, and the ogres don't like the trolls, and so you have all that kind of stuff. And he's a cop and trying to live in that world. That's interesting. I haven't seen the trailer, but just the concept alone is interesting.
Yeah, I always like the idea of having a modern day with monsters in it. 'Cause
And
it's
fantasy
like-
and magic and stuff.
yeah, because it's like cool. Because you pull a gun out and he's freaking melts it with
And he shoots a fireball.
Yeah.
And
Like, oh,
in the end of the trailer, he even finds a sword, like a magical sword that Will Smith finds, in this world. I like because you're seeing all these gang members, like in the original trailer, and you look and you see like a couple trolls with them. Like, what the hell are trolls? What's going on? Like that's what it'd be
Yeah,
like.
it's, again, like anyone who doesn't know Shadowrun, it's like an RPG in the future where magic and stuff comes back, and there's elves and there's ogres. So I'm pretty sure someone played
But
Shadowrun.
Indians too get rolled their shaman
Yeah,
magic and
so
all
there's
that.
all that kind of magic with the Native Americans and stuff. So
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure someone played Shadowrun and then thought, hey, I want to make this a new movie.
Yeah,
So
That's
it's
not
a
a
good
bad
idea.
idea.
it's not a bad, it's not a
No.
bad concept. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, I like it.
And Netflix, I'll definitely give it a look.
Yeah, definitely. I'm gonna definitely want to check that out. There's a lot of stuff on Netflix. I guess they showed a new trailer for what's it called? Death Note.
Death Note, yeah.
I haven't checked it out yet, but I just saw streaming through real things real quick. I guess they showed that, so we'll probably talk about that next time. They already greenlit a sequel to It. Stephen King's It could start production soon for part 2.
Nice.
So that's cool. I'm glad that's going to get thing. Hopefully it's scary and it works well. I want to see another trailer. But I think that's going to wrap it up. I can't think of anything else.
Nah, I can't think of anything.
If anything else to think about staying over, what I saw today, like I said, besides that, I didn't
Toys
hear
and stuff, but
anything
that's
toys.
not-
But that's not really what we. I mean, we do talk a little bit, but it's tangential. It's not
Yeah,
something
it's
we're going to really
more on the back
go-
end.
Yeah. So yeah, that's about it.
Yeah, I'm good.
I'm pretty good too. Yeah.
So next week we'll come back with some more news because we might even make a video tomorrow, depending on how big the Spawn news is. If it's something stupid, we'll just wait for a week.
Yeah.
But if it's something huge, we'll definitely do another mini video.
Definitely, because I love that series.
Yeah,
It's
but
my
Spawn,
favorite.
it's close to all our hearts. We love Spawn. So I think it's going to wrap it up for this week's episode. I've been your host, Crimson Sin.
I'm in 15 PCA.
And Native 454.
Thanks for watching, guys. See you next time.
See you later. Bye.
Bye.